Excuse me. Let's get it. Evening and welcome back to another edition of the MyT Sports Podcast. I'm your host, the one and only talent. New year, save the bear, Taylor. It is another Fuego day in the hottest city in the world, coming at you live and direct from South Florida. It's the 20th day of February. You guys, February is already short enough as it is, but it's flying. It's flying. It started off kind of slow. Like, I don't know about you. It started off kind of slow, and all of a sudden I turn the corner. I'm like, hey, yo, it's the 20th? You be like, we got really 8 days left in this month. But yep, that's exactly what it is. We got 8 days left in this month, but we got plenty of podcasts left for you. This is volume 8, episode 61, track 515 of the MyT Sports Podcast. We got a big show for you guys. We got to talk about it all. Of course, you know, we're going to talk about the All-Star Showcase that just happened over the weekend. We got a Blue Chew promo code for you guys. We got Rogers Watch that is happening. I don't know if it's happening for everybody or just Jets fans. But yeah, we got Rogers Watch in full effect. We got the race to the end of the season coming up. We got the birthday shout-outs coming up at the beginning of the podcast as soon as the show starts. Yeah, we got that new car smell lingering around the NFL, right? We got NBA buyouts. We got butt talk. And NFL franchise tag. We have all that and more coming up next on the MyT Sports Podcast. But you know what we say here, regardless of the time, because we're supposed to start like 8:07, but it's like 8:43 right now. You know what I mean? Regardless of the time and regardless of the weather, it's always a blast on the MyT Sports Podcast. Ain't that right, Coach?
You play to win the game. Hello?
That's it. We got a big show. I can tell you we got a big show for you guys today. I want to get everything popping, right? Let's stir up these pots and get everything going. So you gotta hit that Bernie Mac, so you gotta stir that shit like coffee. So I don't know why the pinky's up all of a sudden. Oh, let's start talking. Woo! Back at it like a sports fanatic. MyT Sports. Whew. I know you guys is feeling. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have left you guys without a podcast to step to. Listen, it's a dangerous life, the life of a podcast. Oh man, I'm just wilding. Right, let's get directly into it. We got a big show. We're gonna see if I give you 3 hours. I'm gonna give you 2.5. I mean, I give you the full 3. But listen, that's why I tell my girl on Valentine's Day, I'm joking. Right? I ain't giving you the full 3. You getting 2.5 strokes, that is. No, let's get right into it. Because you know what we do here on the MyT Sports Podcast? We like to start off every single podcast, every single show with a little birthday celebration. What we do, we give a little birthday shout out to everybody that had a birthday since the last time that we was on the air. Last time we was on the air was Friday, right? So that means we got Saturday birthdays, we got Sunday birthday, and of course we got the birthdays for today as well. So you know what your job is, right? I don't ask a lot from you guys except for like to like, share, and follow wherever you may listen to the podcast at. But you know what your job? I only ask you to do one thing. Wherever you listening at, wherever you watching at, right? If you know anybody that had a birthday over the weekend, anybody had a birthday today, you go in and you start tagging them, you start adding, you start dropping their names in the comments for me, right? And I'll make sure I give them a birthday shout out here on the podcast. But you make sure they grab that they're able to join part of this celebration is ready. So you get your drink, right? You get your beer, you get your shot, you get your juice on the rocks. You know what that needs? You know what that needs? That needs some skull fuck vodka. right? Yo, you get your juice on the rocks, right? You get your joint ready, you get your bowl ready, you get your bong ready, you get your leash ready, you get your Phillies ready, right? Whatever you get ready, right? You get those ready. We about to cheers in a minute. I have to get these birthday shout outs. And I mean, we're going to get them wherever, wherever, and however you may listen to the podcast at. So that means if you're listening live, and there's plenty of ways you could be listening live, right? You could be listening through the Podbean calling line where you can call into the podcast, right? And that's the best way to call into the podcast. Or you can call in through Instagram, right? Which is not really a good way to call into the podcast. Or if you got my phone number, you can call in through there, which is also not such a good way to call into the podcast. Or if you got the back channel, you can call in through the black channel, right? The black channel is a good way to call into the podcast, right? So I got 3 ways for the general public. 2 of them is not too good. One of them is fantastic, and I got one place where everybody can call into if you got the back line. Right. Also, if you're watching on Facebook, if you're watching on Twitter, if you're watching on Instagram, if you're watching on Twitch, if you're watching on YouTube, right? It don't matter where you're watching at. Drop their names in the comments, right? Let me know so I can give them a birthday shout out. While you guys do that, right? I'm gonna stall for a little bit, right? While you guys do that, you know what? Where's my timer? We gotta make sure we stay on track. Timer, bam. All right, I told you I wanted to get some skull fuck vodka, so let's get the timer going. Yo, why is this game freezing? Hey, yo, NBA app, yo, brethren. Yo, this NBA app be on some fuckery. Oh, wait. Is it responding to me? Oh, maybe I'm blocking the... You know what? I could be blocking them. Even though I'm not supposed to be able to block the receiver, I could be blocking the receiver with the Xbox controller. Let's see what's going on here. All right, let's get back into it. I told you my skull fuck vodka. It has also been infused with marijuana. Let's see what we talking about over here. Oh, yeah, that's good. That's some good stuff right there. Oh yeah, that's good. So listen, we ain't gonna do much. We ain't gonna do too much. That was the cup with all the pens on it. That's why I don't be putting cups up here. Too much. Yo, I gotta add some more vodka to this, and I gotta add some more bud to this as well. Hope you guys are ready. Hope I've given you guys enough time to get all your birthday people up in here, right? To get them all tagged up. But more importantly, I gave you guys enough time so that you can pour yourself your own drinks. You can get yourself whatever you're smoking on, right? Your little smoky smokes, right? Get whatever that is. And let's get ready to cheers. Hey, yo, DJ MyT, I think we just about ready to start for you to drop that beat. Birthday time. Why is everything? Hold on one second. I gotta check something out. Okay. I was like, why is everything coming in so hot today? Yo, can we try this again? Like a normal person? Right? Let's try this again. Like, that's a little bit better. Yeah, I ain't mean to blow your eardrums out. I just want to get the party started. I see you, Chill Will. Told you guys I was started on time. This is as on time gonna get. Like, we've been here for 36 minutes. 36 minutes we've been. What time is that? What time does that mean? That means I was here at 8:13. I wasn't talking sports yet. I was in the bathroom. But I had music on. Music on. You know what I mean? Stacking them. And we here now. We had the birthday shout outs. You know what time it is. You got any birthday had a birthday on the 18th? You got any birthday had a birthday on the 19th? You got any birthday had a birthday on the 20th? This time is for you. This is your life. No, this is your time, right? Let's get it. You like that? I like that. You like that? I like. Yeah, it's your birthday. We said it's your birthday. It's your birthday. It's your birthday. It's your birthday. But because it's your birthday, we sing happy birthday. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday. All right, folks, let's get these birthday shout outs out of the way. Hope you got your drinks ready. Hope you got your joints ready. Hope you got your spliffs ready. Hope you got your beers ready. Whatever it is, we're going to celebrate. Let's give a big cheers and a big shout out. Let's get the birthdays for the 18th, right? We got the birthday shout outs for the 18th, and that birthday shout out goes to the one and only Sage Scott. Happy birthday to Sage Scott. Now, Sage Scott happens to be one of the lovely, wonderful, talented people that I had the pleasure of announcing while working for Platinum Pro Wrestling. Yes, folks, Sage Scott is a wrestler, and I was the ring announcer for one of his shows. And I'm telling you right now, if you ever get the opportunity to go see Sage Scott perform, yeah, I'm telling you, you will not regret it. He just doesn't perform down here in South Florida. He travels with it. So if you happen to be in the Ohio area, he may pass by your area. If you're in the Virginia area, he may pass by there. If you're in Atlanta, he may pass by there. Carolina, he may pass by there. Shit. If you were in Trinidad and Tobago lately, he passed through there as well. Oh yeah. I forgot to stir my drink. I was all vodka at the top. Yeah. Yo, where's my stirrer? My stirrer. Man. So, happy birthday to you, one Sage Scott. Right? Drinks up to you. We're gonna take one drink to you. And one pull for you as well, brethren. Definitely big up the Sage Scott on Black History Month as well. Well, if I'm not mistaken, I can't remember the number on the list. Maybe it was the top 100, 200, 300, maybe it could have been 500. But if I'm not mistaken, Sage Scott's name may have popped up on the top black wrestlers in the business. And I can't remember where that number was at, but I know you broke that scale. So big up to you in that sense as well. You know what's coming next. Yo, we're coming hot today. I don't even understand what's going on. Like we're super hot. Like Jay-Z was super ugly. Hey, yo. Right? But let's get to the birthdays yesterday, right? We had a birthday for the 19th as well. That is coming Friday. Right? Wait, Friday? Saturday? No, that was Saturday. He enjoyed the weekend. Let's cover Saturday, right? We got a birthday for Kat Brown, right? One of my bar maidens, you know what I mean? One of my homegirls. When I say bar maiden, I met through the bar scene. You know what I mean? Like you know, it's called bar maidens and bar bros. You know what I mean? But she is definitely one of them. Definitely, yo, big shout out to her. She don't live down here no more, but I know wherever she's at right now because I forget, my memory's all fucked up. I know her husband is doing something very special for her today. So you know what I mean, or did something very special for her over the weekend. All right, so happy birthday to you, Kat Brown. Right, don't forget. You drop your boy a line next time you pop up down here because I'm probably gonna be at Sharky's anyway. So all you gotta do is just hit me and be like, Sharky's. Yo, either you or the husband, whichever one feels more comfortable, right? Hit me, holler at your boy the DS, be like Sharky's, and I'd be like, oh shit, these motherfuckers is in town. Let's go get some drinks. But no, I gotta randomly be at Sharky's and then randomly see you. You know what I mean? And we go through the whole schematics and the semantics and all that other bullshit. Stop playing with me. All right. Also, let's say happy birthday to Michelle James. That's another one of my bar maidens. Actually, she happens to be a waitress at one of the bars that we frequent at as well. I thought she was at Tap 42, but I know for a fact that she's at Naked Taco. But I don't know why I thought that either on Saturday or Sundays, she's at Tap 42. That's what I thought. Maybe she used to be. But also, my memory's all kinds of fucks up. I confuse everywhere that I've been where I've drank at. And that's literally everywhere. But, nope, drank there too. That's literally everywhere. Yeah, I was about to say what you thought I was about to say. Yep. We have highs today of 87, lows of 65. Current temperature right now, 77 degrees. That's exactly what I was about to say. I don't know why I can't get this All-Star game to start. I hate the NBA app on the TV. I swear. Yo, the NBA app through the Fire Stick is the most unreliable thing in the gosh darn hemisphere. Universe. All I want to do is rewatch the All-Star game, which I don't even know if I want to call it an All-Star game as much as I'm calling it an All-Star showcase these days. We're going to get into that after the birthday shout-outs. We're almost at that 10-minute timer to be like, hey, yo, it's time for you to wrap these birthday shout-outs out, right? So happy birthday to Shell James. And then we got a birthday to Hector. Hector, you know who I'm talking about. You know what Ubanius? Ubinos? Ubions? I don't know. I really don't know. But happy birthday to you as well, right? So let's get them all into a room and let's make sure that we give them all their shout outs, right? Right. So to Sage Scott, don't guys forget to go check out the next time that Sage Scott is performing. That way you can see him live, and again, you will not be disappointed. Oh, say happy birthday to Kat Brown, happy birthday to Michelle James. You make sure you guys go out and check out Naked Taco every single Tuesday. I believe she's there every Tuesday. Or you'll see her. You'll see DJ Scepter. It's gonna be a blast. Not the kind of blast you have on the Mighty Sports Podcast, but a blast in its own right. And also today, happy birthday to Hector. Right? So we want to wish you all a happy birthday. We hope you party hard. Hope you enjoy everything. You regret nothing. The weekend just passed, so I hope you got your weekend at Bernie's on. But more importantly, you continue to stay MyT. Swing from it. Hey, make him swing from it. Hey, yo, make a swing from it. Hey, yo, make a swing from it. Hey, yo, make a swing from it. Hey, yo, go and swing, girl. Go and swing, girl. Go and swing on it. Hey, yo, go and swing, girl. Go and swing, girl. Go and swing on it. Hey, yo. I'm telling you, I got some trying to light on the birthday person. Shine a light on the birthday person. Shine a light on them. Hey, yo, shine a light on them. Hey, yo, shine a light on them. Shine a light on them. That's our birthday shout out. Oh, no, that's our birthday shout outs. We're done here. Happy birthday to you all. Right? Hope you enjoyed or are still enjoying. Like hopefully, because it's President's Day today too. I almost forgot about it's President's Day today. So you guys even got an extended like birthday weekend. So some of you is not even really going back to work until like tomorrow. So you could have partied all weekend, got hungover, felt like you was dying this morning, swore drinking for the rest. Oh my God, I'll never drink it again. I can't eat anything. No, I can't even look at food. You know how you get when you guys are hungover. Let's get chill, yo. You wildin'.
You drop takes, don't you? Drop takes, don't you? Sir, yes, sir. Well, if you're gonna drop takes, you might as well go ahead and drop them exhibitiously.
That's the best part. Is he ready? I didn't even get him an invite. Oh, I'm talking about is he ready? Right? I didn't even bring him into the room yet. I just saw that he was there. I thought that he just hopped in because normally he has a reserved seat. So that you see, if you get to reserve seat status, that means automatically when you hop into the podbean call-in line, that means you automatically come into the chat right away. I mean, ain't no buttons, ain't no trying to grab my attention because sometimes, hey, I'm not paying attention to that board. You know what I mean? But you coming right away. I hear a little squeak, or somebody make a little noise. You know, the silence and some shit. Then I'm like, oh, okay, somebody's here. I got you. I feel you. Now, some of my other ones, I hear a little bing bong every time you guys come on. But you know how that works. I need more of you guys bing bonging up in here. I sent Chill Will the invite. Chill Will ain't up in here yet. So let's get into our first topic of the day. We don't have a MyT topic of the day for you, but we have a first topic of the day because this was a calm weekend. Kind of a calm weekend in the sports world, right? Unless you watch the XFL, which I completely forgot to watch. Right? And again, it's not on my radar. XFL, USFL, whichever one is on. Like they're not on my radar. They're not on my radar yet. I don't have it in my. It's like college sports. It's not fully on my radar yet. I don't have it programmed in my brain that this is program TV that I must see. You know what I mean? It's not quite there yet. Like I'll rather catch up on the newest episodes of Bleach or catch up on the newest episodes of Heroes Academy. You know what I mean? Like shit like that. I ain't even started watching Wendy yet. Like over the weekend, I watched what did I watch? Finally, I watched Enter the Multiverse, the Doctor Strange joint, and cheers. Shine a light on the birthday person. Shine a light on the birth. I keep forgetting who I got that from, yo. There's a DJ for that. I forget who he is. What's his name? But I know that most DJs don't have that song in their DJ set. When I start DJing, I'm gonna start DJing soon. I think this weekend I have my first gig, to be honest with you. Right? But I got a list of things I gotta ask one of my friends too. Like I can even ask you, Chill Will. Like, what's reasonable pricing? Or is that something I should ask more about? I should ask more from DJs in my area because this is something that's more based off of your name and your area about basic pricing and things like that. Like, I'm trying to figure out some basic pricing as well, and any little tips I can think of as well. That's the reason why I was asking you if you had title. I was trying to figure out if maybe you you know what I mean? If you build any queues, anything like that, or any of your crates like that from title, or make any lists like that and save from title. That, little shit like that. But yeah, I got a couple of questions I gotta run through on homeboys. Like I'm trying to figure what kind of speaker I still need to get. Cables, I think I still may need. I don't think I'm gonna get a table yet, but I need a table eventually. Like, like I don't have a regular table. This is gonna be like, unless I'm sitting down, it's gonna be weird to use this table that I have right here now. This table is crazy low, and I know I gotta get crazy high. Like, if I had a DJ on this shit. Laptop maybe still only come up to like about right here. And the laptop will be just about level. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes for the first time around. Like the little DJ suitcase for the Serato. Like all that shit. Trying to find money everywhere. Trying to leave no stone unturned. There's money trying to be gotten there. I'm trying to squeeze it out of it. All right, let's continue. Right. Let me see if if I can get this All-Star game in another way, because I want to watch this again while we have the podcast on. Because you know what I didn't catch? I didn't catch the draft. Like, I'm a little upset about that. I forgot. I kind of forgot about the draft, and I've completely missed the draft. Now, from what I heard, I didn't miss much. A lot of people called it sloppy, but the people that call it sloppy are also middle-aged white men. You know what I mean? Like, let's take a shot, but they're not truly the full judge of what may be a good draft on the court as it's happening in real time, as if it's happening right there on the playground, kind of ish. So, you know what I mean? So, I don't have to say that some of them didn't play basketball at some kind of level, whether on the playground or even at college or in high school and college. I know also for a big fact that a lot of them didn't either. So I was like, I gotta find this. I don't know why I just didn't go to the YouTube machine and look up the draft. Like, I really, like, sometimes I really don't respect YouTube for what it has available. I really don't. Like, we wonder how to do something. I'd be like, you know what? I could have YouTubed this. I could have YouTubed this whole entire thing. Like how to make a Alabama taco. Like I could have YouTubed that very easily. All right, but let us continue right into our first topic of the day, because we're basically here. We're basically talking.
First of all, things first.
Right, it's the NBA All-Star Showcase weekend, and that's kind of how I'm referring to it. It's the All-Star Showcase weekend because in every aspect, right, they're showcasing something special about the NBA. See, my phone is funny. My phone really is funny, but it really is. It's showcasing something special about the NBA. Friday, it was inside the NBA. Okay, I think I found it. That's the NBA G League next up. Nope. Okay, I think Giannis versus Team LeBron. Part 1 through 4. Let's see if... Oh, part 1, no ads. Wait a minute. Oh, wait. Part 2, pop ads. You know what? Nobody wants that. Okay. We'll continue to find this. Friday, they had Rising Star Showcase. Saturday, they had the shooting and jumping competitions. And on Sunday, they had the All-Star Showcase, which is all I can call it, because I can't call it an All-Star game, right? It's really like an All-Star practice. But that's really kind of what it feels like, right? So Friday you have the Rising Star Showcase that actually had a series of games that went on, right? And it wasn't just the Rising Star Showcase. Also, Friday had, and I think we were on air while some of this was going on, right? Friday, they also had the celebrity game as well, where WWE The Miz, he ended up hitting a buzzer. He ended up hitting what was potentially a game-winning shot, mid-court 3-point shot, but unfortunately, he let go of it a little bit too late, and he ended up missing it. Not missing it, but it ended up not counting. But it was one hell of a shot. And ultimately, we'll give him, out of a sign of respect, a little bit of...
Cleveland! This is for you!
You know, show a little bit of love. Because even though this was in Utah, Cleveland got a lot of love this weekend. We'll talk about... We'll continue with that a little bit later. Let me check up on that to see if she's okay and how's it going. And listen, if I'm checking up on her to see if she's okay and how's it going, you guys can assume what's going on. Let's see. You good? How's it going? Alrighty. So Friday's the Rising Star Showcase, right? And along with the celebrity game and other things like that. But the Rising Star Showcase, probably more than any of them, was probably the most like a real game. And I say the most, right? The All-Star Showcase was full-blown All-Star practice, right? That was a bona fide practice game. But you still get a chance to see things that you kind of want to see, right? We'll talk about that a little bit later. In the Rising Star Showcase, Jay-Z had a monologue to start the All-Star game, and I missed that. Oh, this is oh yeah. I definitely gotta rewatch this. I ain't know he was doing the monologue. So for the Rising Star Showcase, you had 4 different teams, and what they were gonna do is 3 games back to back to back, right? Not full games. They're basically every game had a target score, right? So the first game would have a target score of 40 points. The second game have a target score of 40 points as well, and the last game will have a target score of 25. Guys, a little bit more tired. It's like playing a quarter kind of thing, right? So you get Team Paul, which is Paul Gasol's team that he drafted, and you know what? Let me help you guys out a little. I actually prepared a little caption for you guys. You know, every once in a while I come prepared. All right, so there you go. Right, perfect. Now I can't see that. So let me see if I can make this screen bigger. Is that F11? There we go. Alrighty. Okay, there we go. Okay, there we go. Oh, I didn't even know I can do all this. I am in heaven. You guys have no clue what I just did. I am in heaven. Chill, Will. You can jump in here whenever you're ready. Just let me know. You know you're always welcome. You know, Chill, Bill. I was senior Ohio correspondent. Also, I was senior college sports correspondent. Oh, he's gonna be on off pretty soon when it comes right around the corner. You know, we getting that. You know, it's coming around the time for college basketball as well. Like you know, Chill Will's about to get super excited. This is his season. This is where he shines at. This is his time. So you had Paul Gasol, right? He drafted. You had him. You had him drafting a team. You also had Darren Williams, right, picking a team. You had Team Joakim, which is Joakim Noah, and then you had Team Jason, which is Jason Terry's picking of the G League Ignite or the G League, the G League Ignite team. Right, which is basically their all-star team. So he put together that all-star. The first overall pick went to Paulo Banchero and also went to Team Paul Gasol as well. They end up doing a snake draft. So really, like Team Jason for the G League, he just basically picked his team through the all-stars in the G League. He basically kind of picked and coached that G League team through the possible candidates. For Paul Gasol, Darren Williams, and Joakim Noah, they went through a snake-like draft where Paul Gasol got the number 1 pick, Darren Williams stayed number 2, so he was always in the middle, and then Joakim Noah came up with the 3rd pick in the first round, and obviously things just kept snaking from there. So you got Paul, you had Banchero go first overall, and then the whole entire, and then the rest of the snake just continued as that. First game, you would get Paul Gasol's team versus Darren Williams, and then also Joakim Noah's team versus Team Jason. And if you guys are watching on YouTube, if you're watching on Facebook, if you're watching on Twitter, if you're watching on Twitch, then you guys can see the caption that's going on on the screen. Unfortunately, if you guys are watching through Instagram, you know the Instagram, the gram cam is a behind the scenes cam. You guys don't get all these captions. Actually, you know what? Hold on. I digress. Give me 1 second. There may be a way. It ain't gonna be pretty. It ain't gonna be pretty at all. But there. Darn it. I thought I was gonna have a way to possibly. Hey, yo, that's a lot of me. I ain't gonna lie. I thought it was gonna. Wait, no. What's that? No. All right, I thought that was gonna be a way for me to do it, but it already has this picture locked in for the production. We almost had a way. We almost had a way. Let's see. Is there any other 4K feature? You know what I gotta find next? Not 4K feature. I gotta save to my favorites. The green screen with another screen. If that makes any sense. But as you guys can see, right? You guys see you guys can see the team. So the first team was Team Paul Gasol versus Team Devin Williams. Paul Gasol's team will comprise of Jose Alvarado. You guys know him best as Grand Theft Alvarado. And if you was on the show on Friday, then you may have already heard the winner of these matchups, as we was watching this on Friday night as well, right? But so you had Jose Alvarado, and this is going in alphabetical order, not in draft order. So you had Jose Alvarado, Paulo Banchero, right? Scotty Barnes, Jaden Ivey, Benedict Mathurin, and Mathurin, right? Benedict Mathurin. That's the guy I keep trying to remember his name. Benedict Mathurin. I'm telling you right now, if he wasn't a Pacer, I probably would remember his name a whole lot better. I can't lie. I can't lie. I'm petty to the core. Like petty to the core. Petty to the core. Petty. Like I am him. Right? I am the Sultan of Petty. Right? But Benedict Mathurin. Not only just remember that name. I'm just gonna let you guys right now remember that name. He has been the one person, and he's been the one person all season. I think you've watched me here. He's been the one person all season. I have forcefully, constantly tried to make sure I remember his name, because from the moment he was drafted and I seen him play in the G League, and I know it's like, damn, the G League. Listen, man, there's little intangibles that make you want to catch somebody's eye. That little intangible that he had, it's carrying over. Let's just say this. When LeBron James, Kevin Durant is out the league, Devin Booker is on his last leg, Chris Paul is out the league, Steph, Kyrie Irving are probably out the league, maybe if they are, on the bench somewhere on some team. You know what I mean? When they're about to be out the league, and it's no longer, and they're no longer, like, it's no longer their league, if you know what I'm saying. And when Anthony Edwards becomes the face and one of the driving characters of this league, Benedict Mathurin is going to be right up there with him. Just letting you know that right now. As Ja Morant has already gotten to one of those next young guys at an early stage already, and you see the excitement around him, trust me when I say that from a mentality and winning standpoint and number standpoint, you guys are going to like Benedict Mathurin. And I'm pronouncing, the Islander in me pronouncing that name Mathurin. That's the only way I'm going to remember it, because it's supposed to be Mathurin, right? If you want me to say it properly for you, I think his name is Benedict Mathurin. But yeah, Benedict Mathurin. Or Benedict Mathurin? Benedict Mathurin. I have to check the origin, like where his peoples is from, like where his family and stuff is from. See if we get anybody in here real quick. So as you can see, those teams, right? The first round would go through Paul Gasol and Devin Williams. As you can see, Devin Williams ended up getting Jalen Green, AJ Griffin, Bones Highland, right? Who was recently traded, Walker Kessler, Trey Murphy III, who's going to be in the slam dunk contest. And can I tell you, Trey Murphy needs to get his 2K rating updated. After this game, after this weekend, when I go check Trey Murphy's 2K rated, it needs a spike because they don't have him as this kind of jumper, right? I don't think we had this from him. Like I thought even watching him, I thought he was more of a shooter. Do it. Alpharin Saquon, and then also let's take this name down, right? Take this caption down so that we can see what that last name is. Dude's going through. And then Franz Wagner. Not for nothing. Like, that's a good team. Like, you can see where that falls off at. And you had Team Joakim Noah and Team Jason. They were gonna take on each other in the first round. And the name here to watch for, right, was Scoot Henderson. Scoot. Wait a minute. Did they do the draft? Did I miss it? I don't know what's going on. Right, the Scoot Henderson, he was the dude to really go to really look for in this game. Also in practice, the way that he spoke and conducted himself in practice in that interview, you can tell that he really wanted this a little bit more than others, right? Because he wasn't at all with the defensive sets that or the defense that was being just played in practice, right? He was like, yeah, I don't like the kind of defense is going on right now. Like, this ain't it. This ain't how we gonna win. If this is how we gonna go out there. Like, he knew it. So shout out to everybody that made it, right? Like City, Scott, School, Mojave, like all of them, right? You guys see them on the board. Take a look at them, right? Big shout out to everybody that did the G League Ignite. They took on Team Joakim Noah that had Josh Giddey, Quentin Grimes, and Quentin was out there. Yo, Quentin Grimes was out there playing like, yeah, if you guys were here Friday, like, you guys already know. Quentin Grimes was out there playing like he was Steph Curry, or at least like he was Klay Thompson. Like, you understand, catching off-balance shots, turning around, shooting the three. And I'm like, and at that point, it just hit me that this must be what they see in practice that gives them such huge faith. Ooh, that's a lot of time on my back. That gives them such huge faith, the New York Knicks, that is, in a guy like Quentin Grimes, where they were like, oh, he took a massive leap, and they really missed him when he was out, when he started off the season out injured, and as soon as he came back, they incorporated him into the starting lineup as a shooting guard. And I know that at times I see flashes of the shooting, but nothing like what you see at the All-Star game, right? I even see flashes of his athleticism at time and his aggressiveness to go to the lane and be able to make finishing plays at the rim, right? You kind of saw all of that in the All-Star game. And well, not all of you saw some of that in the All-Star game, but you've seen some of it as like with him playing as a Knick. But sometimes I kind of wonder, like, damn, he still isn't doing enough for me sometimes. And you kind of wonder, what did they see to trust him so much? Well, this All-Star game, I was like, oh, that's what they saw. This had to have been what they saw. It's the only thing that makes sense to me. Each team starts with $150,000 donated to designated charity. Winner of each of the first 3 quarters earned an additional $100,000 for each charity. Leading team scores after the 3rd quarter plus 24 points is the target score. No game clock, no commercials in the 4th quarter. No game clock? No game clock. Got LeBron James with the most All-Star appearances of 43, most career points in the All-Star. Well, if he's been there the most, you got to score the most. Oh, I think Chill Will is finally here. Let's get Chill Will's music real quick. So, Chill Will don't like to start unless he's properly introduced.
Drop takes, don't you?
It's so hot today.
Drop takes, don't you? Sir, yes, sir! If you're gonna drop takes, you might as well go ahead and drop them exhibitiously. Cleveland! This is for you!
Cleveland, this is for you. Why you gotta go and do that? Why we gotta go and do that? Wait, why we gotta go and do that? Listen, man. It's for the people. It's for the people, man. It's for the people. Like, you are senior Ohio correspondent. You're from Cleveland. Like, you rep that city. Like, Cleveland, this is for you. Like, if Ja Rule had a regular clip that didn't have music attached to it, I was like, I'm from New York. I can understand you guys attaching that. Like it just happens. Oh God, yeah, those people. Oh, they're trying to become a liability. You know what? You know what they're trying to do. They're trying to have somebody else make a decision that they don't want to make. Like, we got time for that. Like, but so yeah, so we had the Rising Star Challenge, right? And like I said, if you guys can see, I think I still have it up on the screen. This was probably these games right here on Friday with the Rising Stars were probably the closest thing to what's up? What's up? Talk to me. Mhm. What happened? She said she fell and hmm. Like how the fuck? Like how the fuck you fall? Like what the fuck you was drinking? Like okay. So what does that mean? What does that have to do? Oh, okay, that's nice. Listen, so, so that's it. So, so you know what? You're doing some modern day. You're doing some modern day boomerang shit. Like, like instead of being the toes, you're like, what, your phone cracked? Oh no, I can't continue with this. I don't know. Like, you're making bad life choices. You got a cracked phone? Like, I don't know if I could deal with you. What's next? You gonna do real crack? Like, like you in your head, this shit is really going from cracked phone to crack rocks. It's like if she has a cracked phone, she does crack rocks. Like it's the only thing I can say. Like, okay, so I'm gonna tell you what my mind went to. Like, okay, your phone's broken, whatever. What I'm trying to listen for is okay, when's your plan to get fixed? but also, are you or is this the opening line to try to ask me for money to help you fix your phone? Like you know what I mean? Like so why are you over there worried about the fixed phone? Like I'm over here thinking like, yeah, exactly. Okay. Like, it could have happened. Like who like see like yeah. But listen, or they, or they just wasn't right, or their mind just wasn't. They might listen, or sometimes their mind just wasn't that. So you kind of have to gauge like where they were, you know what I mean, versus where they are. Like if the eviction you're talking about was literally just 2 months ago, I was like, yeah, you know what, you still need some self reflection. Like, like if this is something that happened, like because we have some time on us. If this is something that happened a dozen years ago, but since then you know that okay, there's been schooling, different, a better job, promotion, or whatever. Like, not saying these things necessarily have to be there, but you know that there's been that turnaround over those dozen years. Then that eviction 12 years ago, you know what I mean? Like, I can't judge. Like, it's because what that is now, it's a building block that made you now into this better person. But if it happened like 2 months ago, I could be like, yeah, I could be like, you know what? That cement on your foundation is still kind of wet. You got to let that shit dry and make sure that you can meditate on it and find yourself a little bit more. You ain't just ready. Like you may be trying to like find a crutch, and I already got bad knees. I'm gonna say I'm just to be so yeah. I can understand you. I'm trying to give the other side to not be so harsh about it. Like, listen, listen, yeah, whatever your red flags are, like let's put it this way, everybody got red flags. Whatever your red flags are, you into your red flags because your red flags may not be right. Like that red flag may not be right on point, but it may be that 7 degrees of separation and be like, see, told you that shit was no good. Like, like, like something else slightly loose is gonna come back into be like, yeah, you know what? I can't. Yeah, so listen to your red flag indicator. Like, just don't go for the like for the pretty face and the smile or the big butt and the smile or big rack and the smile. It normally comes with a big something and a smile. Okay, it's something in a smile, a pretty face and a smile, big butt and a smile, a big rack and a smile. Listen, it could be a big personality and a smile. Like don't fall for none of it. Right? It could be a big throat and a smile. Don't fall for it. Listen to your red flags. Because really your red flags are your sorry, go ahead. Which listen, which in a weird way is great for both of y'all because what that is telling you, right, is that her red flag says that she has a problem with the way you maneuver, and the way that you maneuver is the way that you make your money, right? So ultimately, even if you did try to bypass that, that would always be an issue. So it'll be an issue that she has, and you're gonna have an issue with her having an issue with you trying to make your money, right? Because that's all we care about as men. Like, yo, how you have a problem with me making this? How I make my dough? Like, you can't. Mhm. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So already she's already telling like so you already see right there. She has problems with how you maneuver and she ain't fully paying attention. Like she's already making shit up in her head. Like like in a weird way, yeah, in a weird way of her telling you that you have red flags, she's also listing her red flags. Which you know what? I'm not gonna say that I always knew. Oh, same person? Hmm. You must have liked her. You must have liked her. That's what that was. You must have liked her. Mm. Oh, yeah, I know the name. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Okay. I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. Wait, hold on. There are 11 signs. There's 11 signs, but you qualify for two out of three. Oh, okay, two or three. Okay, two. Okay. Wait, what? Out of 11? Hey, yo. Hey, you know what? Hey, yo. You know what? You know what? These are the kind of people that root for LeBron. Like, you know what? He went 4 out of 10. Like, so, oh, oh, oh God. She's like, you're 80, she's like, you're 83% bad guy. She's like, you're 83% bad guy, but that 17% good guy. I can't fuck with that. That's literally what that was. You're 83% bad guy, but that 17%. Oh, oh, okay. I've heard this. I've heard this. I've heard this. Okay. She said, but see, can I tell you something? Not Exactly. Like you're not gonna stop opening doors because that one person didn't say thank you. Like it's something already built into your DNA. You keep doing it regardless. Yeah, exactly. Like everybody's been through some shit. Yeah. Like, so see, so see, you, look, I'll pause you for a second. So you are being too nice to her. You do. Oh, I say that. I actually if you like. I actually you really like her, right? Because I heard so maybe it's because you called you a night. Like, oh, you must really like because listen, not for nothing. I think I have that issue. I'm actually I know I have this issue sometimes. Like the chick I really sometimes I am way too nice to, like, and that usually for some odd reason, and that and, and that really is. But let me tell you that. But I know it's not. But what ends up happening, that is usually the hardest for me to get. The one that I'm, the one that I'm not really that, the one, yeah, the one I'm not really super nice to. I'm kind of standoffish to. That's the one that's up my asshole. That's basically doing to me what I'm doing to the other person. Oh, because you understand it. Mm. Oh, 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 now she. Ah, that part. Misdiagnosed. She's misdiagnosed. Oh, we gonna get today. Shit Monday. Well, yeah, I was at the. Actually, I wasn't even at the picking. Yeah, I mean, I jumped into that just a little bit. Actually, I haven't got a chance to see that part yet. I was still on Friday, just talking about just Friday's games, like with the Rising Stars. That was probably the closest thing we was gonna probably see it to basketball the whole entire weekend. Like, because those are the only guys that really played semi-league on both ends of the basketball. And it's because they had was almost a 1/4 elimination tournament, which I'm not gonna lie, I probably wouldn't mind seeing that for the regular. Like, yo, dwindle this down some. You trying to get everybody playing time anyway, right? You get about a 7-man team. You get yourself 28 all-stars anyway. That's about how many they have right now, right? Just about. You make it 7-man teams and you do a little 3-game tournament. That's what they did for the Rising Star. That's what they did for the Rising Star game. So I said, if you was watching the caption, or even if you go back and you're watching on either YouTube or Twitch, right, or Facebook, even Twitter, you'll see the teams that they picked. So they had Darren Williams pick a team, Joakim Noah, Paul Gasol, and also Jason Terry. But Jason Terry picked the team for the G League. So they had the G League team get highlighted here. See, and what I would do, even better. Just like how they had the G League here, the winner of this Rising All-Star, right? If they want to make it 4 teams, that they make it for the All-Star, for the All-Star team, then you put, because how many guys is this? 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, that was 7 people. Then you get it down to 21 All-Stars or whatever, right? You make them pick 3 teams, and then the winner from Friday's game gets a chance in Sunday's game. Just like you gave somebody from the G League a chance in the Rising Star, you give the winner of the Rising Star one, you give them that same chance in the regular All-Star, because it wasn't bad, right? First game had a target score of 40, right? So basically, first team to 40 wins, and that's it. So you either play some kind of defense, or you get your ass boomed right off the court, right? And it's one win. It's winner take. It's one win, and you move on. So the people that lose, there's no of a tournament for them. There's no nothing else for them. There is no two game elimination. Like, nope, you're done. Go sit down. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. Right, you're officially on the rest of your vacation until February 23rd. So you had Paul Gasol's team take on Darren Williams, and Joakim Noah team take on the G League team. Right? That team with Paulo Banchero and them, that team came to play. Paulo Banchero came to play too. Like, he did too. There's a couple people that really came to play. Paulo Banchero came to play, and he was talking it since practices. From the G League, Scoot Henderson, like he's for real too. Like, I think did they say he signed a 2-way contract? No. That's the other guy. That's the guy with Philly. Never mind. That wasn't him that got signed with Philly. I was bigging up. I think when we came in, I was bigging up Quentin Grimes again, right? But I already had gave him his love and his flowers on Friday, because, like I said, we started seeing this on Friday, and I was like, oh my goodness, like I was in awe. But I've seen this before. Like I said, like, I remember Tim Hardaway Jr. and Bradley Beal kind of having like a little mini shootout, or really showing what their shooting range and shooting skills can look like. And I was like, oh damn, like you got this in you. And every once in a while, like not very often, not at the level of like Klay Thompson. Every once in a while, Tim Hardaway Jr. bust out with a decent like shooting performance. All of a sudden, you hear him making 7 3-pointers in a game. Going 7 for 13 suddenly. So like you start seeing sometimes from the All-Star game, like what these guys can do when they're not in such a structured and so much in their structured offense. So Paul Gasol's team ends up beating Darren Williams' team, and even though the G League team put up a good fight, Joakim Noah's team ended up beating out the G League team. All right. So then you had a finals between Paul Gasol's team, which had, again, Jose Alvarado, Paulo Banchero, Scotty Barnes, Jaden Ivory. That team was stacked. I said Benedict Mataran, right? Keegan Murray, and then Andrew Nebar. Like, that team was stacked. And then again, they're going up against they end up going against Joakim Noah's team that had Quentin Grimes on there that basically helped shoot his team to a victory in the first one, right? Along with Jalen Duran, Josh Giddey, Evan Mobley, Jalen Smith Jr., Jeremy Soccerman, Jalen Williams. That was probably the second stack team, to be honest with you. Like you kind of saw this coming. And this game like kind of went down to the wire, right? This game was the first to, so while the first round games were the first to 40, this game right here was basically the championship round and was the first to 25. And Jose Alvarado, he goes to the sideline and he starts talking to Donovan Mitchell. And he tells Donovan Mitchell, say, yo, watch, I'm about to go hit the game winner. And then no doubt they go down. Jose Alvarado gets the ball, puts up the three, nothing but net, right? Game winner. Game is 22. The game is, what was it? 20. The game ends up being 20-25. And at the time it was 20-22. And it's a wrap. Jose Alvarado not only hits the game winner, but he also ends up getting MVP of the game as well. Go check it out. Seriously, go check it out. Like, that game was actually pretty freaking decent. And honestly, it was a good enough game that it left you ready to be like, you know what? I want to see the 3-point contest. I'm ready to see the dunk contest. Like, it wasn't a shitty round of games. Like, it wasn't horrible. It was actually entertaining. It ended with the least expected guy making the biggest and most miraculous shot. And if you know Jose Alvarado's story, he's like, this is his second, I think this is his second full season in the league. This is why he qualifies. And you already know his story of being undrafted, going to New Orleans, being now famed for just playing hard and getting inbound steals, wearing point guards out, and not being a dirty player like Rat Beverly, like doing it in a way that people can not be, that people actually get behind, not just his teammates, but the other people around the league could be happy for. And he's worked hard enough. He just recently signed a shoe deal as well. I remember you guys. If you remember, I was telling you guys this a couple weeks ago. Yeah, Jose Alvarado just signed himself a shoe deal. The undrafted guy that just got by on grit alone. Oh, and yeah, and he's from Brooklyn, New York as well. Jose Alvarado is your favorite player. Let's let you guys know right now. Like, everybody loves Jose. Or as he's been rightfully named, Grand Theft Alvarado, because he be stealing that ball. And it's funny because you would see him get involved in the next round as well. And I'll let you guys know what happened on Saturday involving Jose. So on Saturday we had the shooting and jumping competitions, right? Or as you guys know it better as the 3-point and slam dunk contest. But the shooting and jumping competition, where for your 3-point competition you had Buddy Hield, and you know I had the team written, but I think Buddy Hield's now in Indiana. Is he back in Indiana or Sacramento? Indiana. You had Buddy Hield, Larry Markkinen, you had Herder, Tyrese Halliburton, Julius Randle, and actually, let's bring this up from the other night because I forget who Julius Randle replaced. Anthony Simmons from Portland. So this is Buddy Hield from Indiana, Larry Markkinen from Utah, right? Herder from Sacramento, like I said, Tyrese from Indiana, Simmons from Portland was supposed to be there, but he got replaced by Julius Randle from the New York Knicks. And I didn't watch this originally on the TNT broadcast. I watched all of this, right, this whole entire thing through the TBS broadcast because I didn't want to listen to Reggie Miller. But then I was rewatching everything again today, and I was forced to hear the Reggie Miller broadcast. And not for nothing, Reggie Miller may have said one thing that's actually true. So Reggie Miller in this last year has said two things that are true, that are actually true, right? And funny and true. The first thing earlier this year that he said that was funny and true was that every time that Anthony Davis grimaces, that's 2 to 3 weeks. And then on the All-Star game, he said Julius Randle absolutely does not belong anywhere near this 3-point competition. And he was right. Like, he was fully right. There was no reason why Julius Randle should have been in this 3-point competition. Like, I couldn't even hear any reason, the highlights on why he should be here. But I'm assuming that Anthony Simmons went out. They looked around the league and they looked around and it was like, we don't have a New York representative. Who can we get in here? Like, and to be honest with you, if he was gonna put somebody in here, and I know that Julius Randle's already there, but since even to about people that's already there, why not get Quentin Grimes a chance? Like, that's the part that baffled me. If you was just gonna throw somebody in New York, just to throw somebody in New York there, why give it up to Julius Randle? Why not give it to one of the young boys? You know what I mean? Like, Julius, you're already gonna be in the All-Star game. Like, you know you're not gonna do nothing of significance in the 3-point contest. Why put yourself through that? More importantly, why put your crybaby son through that? Because I realized something, right? Remember, I think it was sometime last year that Julius Randle, was it last year? Julius Randle, right, got to the point where New York fans was booing his play. And because they were booing his gameplay, his son was crying at the games. And he was like, yo, I can't bring my sons to games anymore, right? Because because of the way the fans are treating me, like they're booing me and stuff like that. And my son is crying in the stands. And while I kind of felt for you then, I don't feel for you now because your son cried because you put up 11 points in the 3-point contest. And while he should be crying because of it, it also made me realize that your son cries over a lot of nonsense. And he's just a big old crybaby. I'm sorry. Like, you can punch me in the face if you want to. Like, but your son's a crybaby. So now it makes me see like your offense from last year be nothing more than the fact that you used your son as an excuse for your bad play because you also tied his emotions, right, or his reactions into how poorly you were playing. And yeah, that's not gonna cut it. That's not gonna cut it. Son's a crybaby. Why was he crying because you only put up 11 points? If he's crying over that, I could imagine that. Oh my God! Like, if he's crying over that, then yes, I could imagine when they were booing you for a whole season when the Knicks when they were leading, when you was putting up all those empty calorie stats, right? On how he was crying then too, because those boos was probably a little bit harder to swallow than you put up 11 points, but. I don't know. Like, I'm out here making my son cry with my gameplay. But yeah, Julius Randle didn't belong there. I'm sorry. Yeah, I actually agree with Reggie Miller. White. The first time I think I'll ever agree with. Second time I'll agree with Reggie Miller. Right? It will be on this one. That Julius Randle did not belong there. But you know who did belong there? Damian Lillard belonged there. You know who else belonged there? Tyler Hero kind of belonged there. And who belonged there? Jason Tatum, who was, what is he? But he has the 6th most 3-pointers in the league, something like that, something weird like that. So you know how this goes. They go through the first round, and then the best 2 scorers move on to the last round. Well, what ended up happening here? Best score of the evening went to Tyrese Halliburton from Indiana. He put up 31 points. Then Dame dropped 26 as well. I'm sorry, not top 2, top 3. My apologies. So they dwindled it down from 8 to 3. And then You had Buddy Hield also drop 23 as well, and those will be your final three individuals. Now, mind you, Buddy Hield has won this before, and I think he won this before when he was playing in Sacramento. And Sacramento has had not only Buddy Hield, I think who was it, Bogdan Bogdanovic, I think also won from Sacramento. So Sacramento has been represented here before, but also Buddy Hield has been here before, right? So like this is a stage that he's kind of familiar with. Damian Lillard, he announced his retirement from the 3-point contest after this year, because this would have been his third year attempting it. And if he didn't win after this year, he said he was going to leave, that he was going to retire from the 3-point contest. But he really, really wanted this title. He really did. Like, yeah, he fully expressed that before. And I think he was mic'd up. He was mic'd up during practices or whatever. And he fully expressed that, yeah, this is something that I want. Tyler Hero put up a subpar performance. He put up both Julius Randle's kind of performance, something like 11 points, 8.7, something horrific, right? Jason Tatum, he was on the bubble for a while with 20 points, but he didn't quite make it into the next round. Jason Tatum was just trying to get he was just going after all of the hardware. Wasn't he? Like, I guarantee you, Jason Tatum could have been in the slam dunk contest. He would have too. Yo, I really don't get. You know what? Let's move on. I'll still say it. There's still part of me sometimes that doesn't get why the stars aren't doing the slam dunk contest, but we'll talk about the conversation I have with myself about that a little bit later. It's coming up in minutes. So you had Buddy Hield, Tyrese, right, Halliburton, and Damian Lillard all making it to the next round. Tyrese would drop 17 points to come in third, leaving Buddy Hield and Damian Lillard with the opportunity to come to, as long as they broke 20 points, they'll be able to come in at first. They'll be able to come in at first. Buddy Hield did not disappoint. He dropped 35 points. Sorry, he dropped 25 points. My apologies. I don't know if you guys know about this new the new format that they have with the 3-point contest. So not only do you have your racks, in the 5 positions, the corners, the wings, and then also the top of the key, but also each rack has a money ball, and they also have a rack that just has money balls, and you can put that anywhere that you want. Basically, so you put it in your sweet spot and try to rack up points wherever your sweet spot is at. Also, they have a 4-point ball as well, or every many points it is 6-point ball, whatever, right? But they have a 4-point ball as well, right? If you guys remember, kind of with from that, you know that Sprite little spot, basically the spot that Damian Lillard and Steph Curry has made famous to shoot from. Like that spot right there, they had a spot right there, and Buddy Hield and Damian Lillard both have took advantage of making their shots from there. Buddy Hield will put up 25 points, but that would not be enough, right? That would not be enough for the guy that said, "This is my time," and excuse me, there they go. Excuse me. And if I don't win it this time, then I'm retiring, and you won't see me any more times in the 3-point contest. Now being able to add to his collection to say that he is also a lord of the 3-point bombs. What time is it? Dame time. What time is it? Dame time. What time is it? Dame time. If you're kind of in the cadence, think of the cadence from Black Panther. Breakfast! 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 Okay, I had a question. Chill Will. So if you're there, I got a question coming up. I had a question from one of the callers, right? From one of the people in the comments, and they asked, "Why is Malika Andrews so bad?" And if you think Malika Andrews is bad, the only thing I can say is that it's because she is the byproduct of affirmative action. Is that the right thing to say about Malika Andrews? That if it wasn't for ESPN or whoever it was, yeah, the people at ESPN spying on Rachel Nichols' conversation, that she probably wouldn't be having whatever position that you're talking about that she's bad in, probably because she wasn't fully ready yet. Like while she was good and showing promise, she probably quite wasn't seasoned quite yet. Probably needed a little bit more experience, and that may be the effect of, and that's probably what you're seeing. That's if you think that way. That may be a possibility into it. I'm not saying those are particularly my thoughts. I'm just saying that is one very viable option why Malika Andrews may be bad if you think that. Is that right to say that she's a byproduct of affirmative action though? Is that the right affirmative action? Is that the right phrase to say? Is that the politically correct way to say? I mean, or basically, if you want to say it from Rachel Nichols' point of view, like Rachel Nichols was the victim of some fucked up shit. Listen, you have to be willing to call a spade as black people sometimes, right? Like I'm willing to say this all the time that if Luka Doncic was black, he would have been the number one pick in his draft. If Luka Doncic was Larry Duncan, right? Jalen Duncan, whatever it is, he would have been the number one pick draft. If anybody had done what he was doing to what is basically considered the second big in the world, even above college, even above the G League, then that person would have been that number one pick. But instead, Luka Doncic fell. Atlanta, Dallas, the rest is history. But you know what's funny? I always tell white people too when they're around the podcast, and this comes up. I always tell them, listen, you make sure that you pull up my podcast, right? You show them the image of it, right? I gotta get this clip on. I gotta get that clip on there. You know where are we? What point are we at? You at the what's that? A minute 25? Let's get that clipped on here. I need to tell them that you pull up the podcast and you let them know to listen. And you let them know that this isn't you saying this. This is me saying this. This is me giving you the okay to say this. But Luka Doncic is a victim of racism. And if he was black, he would have been the number one pick. if he was Larry Duncan, he would have been the number one pick in his draft based off the accolades he came into that draft with. But because he was some white European guy, which is the second factor that I feel like is that he was white and was European, right? And Europeans get the soft stigma, right? That's the only reason why he wasn't drafted higher. And he was drafted pretty high. Should have went number one. Luka Doncic should have went number one in that draft. And I said it shortly. I think I said it right after that draft. I've been saying it since that draft. Luka Doncic been playing for 5 years. I've been saying it for the last 5 years. This ain't nothing new. I'm call a spade a spade. Like it sounds funny. It sounds weird, right? But if you look at it in reality, like that really is the case. It really is the case. Like, hey, like they look like Luka ain't part of our American society. I shouldn't be punishing for that shit. You know who I want to see? This African dude that I always see on my Instagram training, right? He be tying water bottles to his legs, tires, all like tires to his body, all kinds of stuff. Got all kinds of homemade contractions, like weight, like clay weights and everything. Like if that dude don't make it to the African basketball league or even make it to the NBA, something is just off. Like because if you know you know what I'm talking. Yeah, yeah. You can't make it to the African league. He can't make it to the African league. Like, I mean, if J. Cole could make it to if J. Cole could make it to the African league, right, and play real games, meaningful games, like, you tell me he can't make one? He can't make it one time? I don't know. He could be like 16. I don't know. I don't know how I don't know how that African age looks in Africa. In African, directly in the motherland. Our powers they heighten when we're that close to our native soil. So so he could be 12 in that super powered body because he's on motherland soil. I don't, he looked like he about 32, but be he could be 9, you know. So like what they did with damn it, Manute Bo. It's like I don't know how old he was. I just told everybody he was 19. Told him to say he was 19. They're like, we had no papers on him, no birth certificate. Like Ball was like 32 in the league. No wonder he had bad knees by the time he was in the second league. It's like, oh my god, this arthritis he has. He has the arthritic knees of a 72-year-old man. This kid's only 21. Yes, he is. Stop asking questions. Oh, but about the very little last skit. I was just over exaggerating, but ball. Not ball, but Manute Ball. Yeah, they didn't. They really just made up his age. They had no birth certificates or anything of him. So when they scouted him and found him, they just presented him to the league as a 19-year-old, or presented him to college as whatever age, like as a 19-year-old. Oh shit! Can you hear me? 32 though. He could have been older than 23. I can hear you. Okay. I got a little notification that my mic did some weirdo shit. And yep. Okay. I see where I do have the issue at. Hold on. Okay, we're back up. All right. So that's what they said about him. Like, yeah, they had no birth certificate or anything, so they just kind of made up an age for him. They didn't even have a way to communicate with the people that they found him from to try to figure out like how many whatever had passed since. You know what I mean? So yeah, Manute Bo, they have no how old he really was. But kudos, but big shout out to Damian Lillard. Let's give him a little big. All right, because he said that he was going to come out and win this one. He said he had to win this one because after this one he was retiring because it was his third one, and he wasn't going to keep attempting this anymore. In the last round, he put on his high school jersey, which wasn't too far from where they were having the All-Star game at. You know what's funny? So they always talk about Damian Lillard, right? Damian Lillard. I keep forgetting. But I'm about to tell you how it's connected because he's from the Bay Area. Is that Oakland? No, Oakland. He's Oakland. Yeah, I think he's from like somewhere around there. Yeah, so he's from somewhere in that area. And it's funny because I'm gonna tell you something. You know, people always ask about Damian Lillard leaving Portland, and I know I was one of that possibly thought he was gonna leave. And I always hear about him saying that he's gonna stay, like he ain't going nowhere, he's gonna retire. I'm like, okay, you can respect that, fully respect it, you know. And I got to the point where I'm like, oh yeah, he's not leaving there. But you know, it made me really solidify the thought that I know Damian Lillard is gonna try to retire as a Portland Trailblazer if he can. I looked up how close Portland was to where he's from, and there's no more than like an hour and a half away driving. Like, it is so super close. So I'm gonna tell you something. When Damian Lillard retires, I am really going to be. I'm gonna have my ears up for the stories that may come out about how Damian Lillard had the region from Portland to his hometown on lock. Like, it makes me curious about stuff like that because when I know how close he is to his hometown, right, and think of his whole demeanor and everything else like that, I'm like, hey, yo, that is really close to home to still be super effective with anything you do at home. And I'm not gonna say they be doing like no super gangster shit, right? Because if he was doing some silly gangster shit, right, the league would have already sat down and had a talk with him. Like, I'm talking about that Udonis Haslem kind of influence. You know what I mean? Where nothing kind of happened. Like, I wonder if he already has that built in already, where nothing happens in this area without me knowing. Like, this is kind of my city. So I'm curious. I'm curious going to be the stories that come out about Damian Lillard in right when it comes to the area, right, or the region of from Portland to Oakland or wherever it was, Bay or wherever all those guys are from, because he's from the same area as, also, if I'm not mistaken, like also a similar area from all the brothers. God damn it, the point guard brothers, the Holidays. The Holidays. Who else? Gary Payton, I think, is from that area. So yeah. Also, no, wait, is Gary Payton actually? Who else am I thinking about? 3-time slam dunk champion, former New York Knicks, Nate the Great Robinson. Listen, he's one of those athletes. He's one of those guys. 5'9", pure athlete. Like, he was one of those guys that, and not like Charlie Ward or like not Charlie Ward. No, not like Charlie Ward, where like Charlie Ward wasn't super athletic, right? Where he played football, and then switched over to basketball. Like, what's his name? Nate Robinson was one of those guys that switched over from basketball to football too, right? And you thought he was gonna play, and you thought he was gonna play. You thought he was really gonna play football, but oh my god, just what an athlete he was. That's the reason why Nate Robinson thought that he can beat Jake Paul or whichever one of the Paul boys that he went up against. That's kind of the reason why he thought he was gonna be like, yo, I'm just like one of those natural athlete kind of guys. But then very quickly you saw, like, anybody that knows boxing, very quickly you saw like, oh no, he has no boxing technique. And even for an amateur or as a neophyte, like Jake Paul has enough foot technique to lay him on his ass. Like, you saw that immediately. It's like, oh no, this ain't gonna end well. And no, that too, that too, which is funny because that's part of his wrestling. Like, you know who's a natural athlete too? Those guys are kind of are kind of just athletic as too, because I see them in. Oh, you know what? We just lost Chill Will because I did not realize that we were coming up on the 2-hour mark. You know what, guys? We're gonna take a little quick commercial break. We'll be back on the MyT Sports Podcast right after these messages. We got to get the people, we got to get the podbean call-in line back up so those people know. But for everybody else, you know what I mean? You know how much you love the troops. About your troops. Let me tell you about your troops.
They didn't join this team to win championships or become famous. They joined because there is important work to be done, and only some able to do it. They are better educated, led, and equipped than any team in history. They are doctors, lawyers, engineers, technologists, and combat troops, all prepared for whatever comes their way. You'll find them where the lights don't flash, and the only contract they sign is with themselves and their country. One day, they may ask what they did
I said I wasn't going to drink
in
today.
this world, and they can respond, I became a soldier.
And we are back with the MyT Sports Podcast. I'm still your host, the one on talent, Omar Taylor. Thank you guys for listening, wherever you may be listening at, whether that's on your smart devices, at home, in your car, Facebook, Twitch, Instagram. You know what I mean? We see you, Graham Cam, the behind the scenes Graham Cam, wherever you may be listening or watching that. I do appreciate you guys. It's crazy. We still talking All-Star. We still talking All-Star weekend. Like, we 2 hours into the show, we still talking All-Star weekend. We didn't even talk about all the other stuff. Like, so you know what? I'm gonna put myself on the timer. Let's get this All-Star talk out of the way, right? So Damian Lillard will end up winning the 3-point contest. Then we'll move over to the slam dunk contest. And the slam dunk contest we would see Trey Murphy III, which I'm gonna let you know, I thought Trey Murphy was more of a 3-point shooter. Not gonna lie. Thought Trey Murphy III was more of a 3-point shooter. We also had Jericho Sims from the New York Knicks. Again, they're just trying to find a way to put a New Yorker in there. See, you had New York represented everywhere. You had New York in the in the Rising Stars Challenge, right? Or the Rising Stars Showcase. You had a Knick in the 3-point contest. You had a Knick in the slam dunk contest, and you had a Knick in the All-Star game. That's just because they're trying to get somebody from the New York market. Again, no knock on Julius Randle being in that 3-point. No knock on them trying to get a Knick in that 3-point contest. I'm just saying, give it to Quentin Grimes. Give it to somebody else, right? From New York. But I guess he may have been the only guy that qualified. That they could have put him in there, and a bunch of other people not looking like, hey, yo, how come I ain't get a shot? So, I don't know who this is, but hey now. Oh, sorry. Oh, are we here? Are we at this point? Oh man, I can't wait to talk about this. Then you had Kenya Martin Jr., obviously Kenya Martin's son. Super duper athletic, like freak of nature. 6'7" kind of guy, right? 6'7" power forward, like ridiculous hops. And then we had Mac McClung, which I remember earlier, like in the weeks, right? A couple podcasts ago, when I first mentioned him, there was no excitement on my voice. Then I remember Friday when I saw his picture, I was like, my first thought was, who is this white dude? And then I realized, oh, wait a minute. That's the dude from the G League. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute. That's that dude from the G League. And if you saw any of his dunks beforehand, if you've seen any G League highlights, you've seen a Matt McClung highlight. I didn't know his name, but I've seen him. That's why when I put the 2 and 2 together, I was like, oh, that's him. That made that exciting. Jericho's he's big, but he was gonna have to do some Dwight Howard kind of stuff. He couldn't be mediocre with his dunks. He was gonna have to really be able to show off his, like, you can't just be like, oh, I jumped really high. You have to really try to be creative with it. That's what the dunk contest is. You're not like everybody knows that you got hops. Let's see what you can do with these hops. Thank you. Apparently, I've made 48 straight payments. Damn, I've been paying somebody for 4 years. God damn. I ain't stopped yet. Shit. I mean, I ain't done paying you off yet. Like, shit. Okay. So, that's probably my student. Is that a student loan? Who knows? So, Murphy, I think Murphy started this off, all right? Trey Murphy the third started this off, and he throws up a ball. He throws the ball up, right, to try to do like an alley-oop, like a bounce alley-oop to himself, and it just goes bad, right? So he catches it, whatever, and he starts saying, you know what? Let me see if I can get some crowd or wait. I get some crowd. Yo, let's go. Try to get the crowd pumped up, and then all of a sudden, Grand Theft Alvarado comes up, and you realize that little alley-oop miss was all part of the charade. Alvarado gets the ball, he runs to the rim, throws it off the backboard, he catches it, he does a little spin-a-rooney. Was this a spin-a-rooney? Yeah, does a little spin-a-rooney, and I start looking at it like, wait a minute, I thought you were a shooter, Troy Murphy. I thought you were a shooter. And hey, has LeBron James not played a minute or made one more point since he broke the all-time scoring record? No, that's not right. So I'm watching. I'll let you guys know. We'll hear about it in a minute. Maybe. So you had them go to the first round. And one of the things that was interesting is that they didn't allow one judge to just give 8, 9, or 10 or whatever amount of points from 6 to 10 that they've constructed them to. Like, hey, no zeros. You can't embarrass anybody. Like, lowest score you're allowed to give is a 5. If you don't like it, then call it average, but don't call it garbage. Right? So you saw what they now was the judges' ability to give 50 points, period, and it is the average of all of the scores. So remember again, the judges were Dominique Wilkins, Jamal Crawford, Lisa Leslie, Harold Miner, and also Karl Malone. All right, and like I said, Troy Murphy would come up in the first round. He would get his dunk off. Jericho Sims would. Oh man, like Jericho Sims would end up doing a one hand, like where he's put one hand through the rim. Good, impressive. Run off his vertical, no real creativity. We've really seen this before. So no creativity, no explosion, just like we know you guys can hop, and we know this. Like I said, you needed a little bit more. You needed to jump over a body or a car or a church. Like so something that connects Salt Lake City to the All-Star break. Something of that nature was gonna have to happen. Also, so then after his not, I don't want to say little, but after his sorry, that wasn't the one hand dunk. That was a 2-arm dunk. He went and put 2 arms in the rim, right? Kind of tried to scoot the other one in there, but he put 2 arms in the rim, and you can see that it was starting to take a toll on his body, right? Like his armpit and stuff was starting to get sore and starting to hurt. Speaking of body, forgot De'Aaron Fox was in the All-Star game. Kenny Martin Jr., right? Or this is called him Kmart, right? He would come through and he would do a little reverse clutch, right? Like to get that to get that in, and then I thought I wrote down the scores, to be honest with you, everybody's dunks, but I guess I didn't. I wrote it down for the 3-point contest, which I didn't give you guys either. So let's get consistent. Oh, LeBron James missing. Ooh, okay. Went to go block a shot. He missed it. And you look at Gabriel Union. He got his pinky stuck in the rim. We'll tell you the significance about that a little bit later. Except for the fact that he no longer can get up and block those shots. We're not out of time for this segment. Right? So you get Sim. So let's see, we got Kenyon Martin, right? So then we had Matthew. So then we had Matt McClung come up, and McClung's first dunk, he lines up two individuals. One of them hops on each other's shoulder, piggyback style. No, that's not piggyback style. But one of them hops on their shoulders, right? Chicken fight style. And Matt McClung jumps over both of them, right? Taps the ball off the backboard and then dunks it. And I was like, oh, that's a 50. And I'm like, yeah, that's who I thought was coming to this dunk contest. And honestly, that's what Jericho Sims was going to have to do if he was going to have to show people, I really have people appreciate his vertical. Those are the kind of dunks he was going to have to pull off, right? So he did that. So he does the double tap. Then we have the next round that comes up in the first, right? So or the next set of dunks in the first round, which is another round of dunks. So you have Murphy start off again, and he gets. Actually, no. Wait. He does a back scratch, clutch, reverse dunk, right? Like he hits move one of that, and again, I'm like, hey, yo, I did not know Trey Murphy had these kind of hops. He needs his 2K ranking updated. He needs his 2K ranking updated. For real. Then you will get so then after that, then you get Jericho Sims comes back up. And now he does he tapes something to the bottom of the net, and when he does his dunk, he does a one-arm dunk, right? Gets it out the rim, opens it, right? Or I guess maybe supposed to, but gets it out the rim, comes down, opens it very awkwardly. He almost rips it open. He could we almost wasn't gonna see it. And what's in there? 50. Yeah, I wasn't a 50. And not for nothing, Karl Malone was probably the hardest ranking judge out there. And I can't say I fully disagree with Karl Malone. Like me and Karl Malone and I was probably within 1 point of each other most times. I really did not disagree with him a lot. I say that because you could hear John Green giving him a whole lot of smack because of it. After that, we would get Kenyon Martin's second dunk, right? And he would end up doing a double windmill. Yeah, double windmill. No, that's not his. That's what it says. He would grab a black ball of all black basketball. It looks cool as shit, right? His dad brought it out, whatever, nice little presentation. And then he would just kind of do a reverse clutch, right? Clutch. I was like, okay, that was cool because he did the clutch first, and then, if I'm not mistaken, that's when Trey Murphy did the back scratch along with the clutch reverse dunk. Right? And then what would end up happening after this? You get Matt McClung after putting on that ridiculous dunk before, right? He would end up doing a double wind. He would do a double arm, the windmill 360 reverse. Like, yo, I'm looking at this guy. I'm like, hey, yo. The whole entire crowd again. Another no. Did he get another 50 on that one, or was this one like a 49.6? I think this one may have been a 50. Right? He gets another 50, and he's like, yeah. Somebody really came to play. So between all those two guys, Jericho Sims, he pooped the bed. Kenny Martin Jr., right? K Martin, he tried, didn't quite get there. So this final ended up coming between Trey Murphy and also Matt McClung. Trey Murphy was start off by throwing the ball up an alley-oop up in the air to himself, catching it, right? So they didn't bounce it off the ground, they didn't bounce it off the backboard, threw it up in the air, caught it, took it between his legs, dunked it. And then Matt McClung will come with the double pump reverse, folks. The double pump reverse. Not gonna lie, the double pump reverse was nasty. I think that round I think he already had the hype though. He already had the hype and he already had the cloud. That round I probably would have given Trey Murphy. Not by much, but I probably would have given Trey Murphy. Then for his second dunk, Trey Murphy pulls off the Vince Carter, the one-handed 360 reverse dunk. You know what I mean? And it was nice, but we kind of seen that before. To end the night, Matt McClung, we should have gave me some go hard or go home on this one. Matt McClung would do an 820, 3600, right? I don't know how many times he spun, but he did like an 820 in the air, full 900. And dunked the ball. It was like, oh my God. Like this is probably one of the few times where we didn't have the names. The most recognizable name here is probably Kenya Martin Jr. because of his dad, Kenya Martin Sr. That was probably the most recognizable name here. Like let's be for real. Let's be honest. Let's be for real. That was probably the most recognizable name here. Jericho Sims, unless you're a Knicks fan, nobody knows him. Matt McClung, unless you're watching G League games or you're watching just dunking videos on YouTube, you really don't know about him. And Trey Murphy's only been in the league 2-3 years. So, not a lot of people that you know about. But I'm gonna tell you, this is one of the times I didn't mind not having anybody there. And then that's when I started looking at it different. Because I started calling this whole entire thing differently. I started calling it the NBA All-Star Showcase Weekend. I started thinking of it as an All-Star Showcase. Your All-Stars are really going to be in the All-Star game anyway. There aren't too many All-Stars that are dunk. There aren't too many people that are dunkers out there that you want to see dunk that aren't All-Stars. And that's what we've gotten used to. But you know what? It's now been a while. We've had now a couple of generations, maybe 2-3 generations, that have grown up not knowing stars to be in this event. And if now this becomes the also, you know what? Let's try to highlight somebody that the crowd isn't familiar with now. I'm okay with. You know what? I think I'm okay with it. because you know what? That's why I call it the shooting and jumping competition. Like the game on Sunday, that's your all-star showcase. But Saturday, that's your shooting and jumping competition. Let's show you some of the best shooters and jumpers in the league that aren't your all-stars. Your shooters, as in, you know that nobody's complaining that Buddy Hield is there. Nobody complains that Larry Markin is there, right? No, we don't know these guys. But because it's shooters, we're okay with it. Right? Halliburton, Julius Randle. The biggest name here is Damian Lillard. And the only reason why he's here because we know Damian Lillard has more pride than the majority of the people that came before him that's in this current era. Right? Talking about like LeBron James, Kevin Durant, and shit like that. Right? So you have Tyler Hero and then Jason Tatum also joined. So those are your two biggest names. Everybody else you don't know. You really don't know. I've become okay with, and it happened this year, and I hope I stay in this space. I've become okay with them not having the starter. Now, what does disappoint me is that it's another bad trend that LeBron James has started. Let's remember, your best player sets the example. I hope Anthony Edwards does a slam dunk and forces Ja Morant to come do, because the slam dunk cons that we want to see these days, right, involves Ja Morant, involves Zion Williamson, involves Anthony Edwards, and it involves Matt McClung. Like currently as it stands, because also I know you guys want to see Zach LaVine, but isn't he kind of getting past his time? Them knees is a little too beat up. Right, so I think that's where we're standing right now. Of the slam dunk kinds that we probably want to see. As I said, right, that's Saturday, and I left Saturday being fulfilled. So I was cool with Friday. I was good on Saturday. More than good. I was fulfilled Friday. I was fulfilled. And then we get the showcase of All-Stars. So I can't call this a game when the final score was like 184 to something, right? To like 179, right? I think that's the final score. And what this has become is really just a showcase of the stars. And not even a showcase of your defensive skills of how well you play ball. A showcase of how well you shoot, how well you dunk, how far your shooting skills are, right? Kyrie Irving putting on a light dribble drill and blowing past his man to get to the rim to have nobody contest him. Ja Morant, same thing, doing dunks and nobody contested, right? So at this point, it's not longer an all-star game. It's more of a showcase of your all-stars. And really it's really this kind of showing them off. It's like, hey, look at this spectacle. Look what we can do. And we're really not playing a game. It's, hey, ole. It's worse than shoot around. And it probably is. It's all-star shoot around. That's what so let's keep it at least a little bit respectful. We'll call it an all-star showcase. But again, the big winner over the weekend was Matt McClung. Right, big winner was Matt McClung, because so far in his career he has earned $150,000, and in that by winning that slam dunk contest, he won himself $100,000. Yeah, that part. So he really made, what was it, 2/5 of his career earning in one day. 2/5. Out of the $250,000 that he has made his whole entire life, he made 100,000 of it in that slam dunk contest. I like that. I wouldn't mind them. Like I said, I wouldn't mind I wouldn't mind them bringing in celebrity, not kind of celebrity YouTube dunkers, and have them dunk during the halftime of the Rising Stars game, or during the break of the Rising Star game, like right before you have that last game. And honestly, I wouldn't mind. As we said earlier, I wouldn't mind if they took that same approach to the All-Star game, where they kind of do a little quick tournament, but they have the winner from Friday night allowed into Sunday night. Just like how they allowed a G League team, a G League All-Star team to come in there. They allow one of those young boys to come play with them. And let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. I guarantee there'll be some competition then when they think they could be eliminated out of an All-Star showcase. Suddenly by these young guys suddenly, right? And granted, it's only $1 million, but they knocked you out from getting anything. While the winning team was getting this and the losing team was getting like, nah, like your charity gets some dough, and these winners gonna get some bread in their pocket. I really do enjoy that format. I like to see it move forward. In this game, right, in the All-Star showcase, Giannis didn't play because Giannis had an injured wrist. After the first quarter, I told you that LeBron James hit his pinky trying to go up for a dunk, and he did not make it. Right, he caught his pinky stuck, so he was out after the first quarter as well. Honestly, I thought it was all a gimmick at first. Right, I really thought it was all a gimmick, and I'll tell you why. Because they at halftime, or at the perceived halftime, they had a whole entire award ceremony ready for LeBron James. We'll talk about that in a minute. We'll come and talk about that a little bit later. All right. First, let's talk about the NFL real quick, right? And let's move over there. Let's move away from the All-Star week just a little bit, right? We'll hop back in here. Maybe we'll hop back in here, but we're gonna step aside for a second, and then let's talk football. As the NFL's franchise tag time frame is coming up pretty soon here, from February 21st all the way through March 7th. So we're talking about for 2 weeks. Right now, teams start having opportunity to start franchise tagging people. As you know, if you're not signing anybody to go to franchise tag when down, this is now the time where players can now start falling off your books. Right, this is where that new car smell keeps popping up, and I'm like, this is really, you realize this is just deodorant. That car smell ain't new car. It's an old car with a breeze thing in the middle that gives off that new car scent. This ain't, you don't want this one. It's a lemon. We'll talk about that in a minute. We'll talk about that a little bit later too. So that time frame is coming up, and you know what? Actually, we'll talk about that a little bit more now. Right here, actually, because it's the Jets that are looking into trying to get Derek Carr. And his name, and because they sat down with Derek Carr recently, they sat down for lunch, they sat down for dinner. I think they even woke up and they made him pancakes. I really want pancakes. I really want some pancakes. But so okay, so what was I saying? What was I saying? Where were we? So the Jets sat down with Derek Carr and he spent the night on all kinds of stuff, right? And so now Derek Carr's name is popping up a lot as a possibility to go to the Jets. And this is also the second quarterback being tied to the New York Jets. Obviously, the the prize tuna is Aaron Rodgers. I don't know why I was gonna call him Eric Rodgers. But the prize catch is supposed to be Aaron Rodgers. And I'm in a weird standpoint, right? When it comes between the two guys. Because if I'm the Jets, if I can't get Aaron Rodgers, I'll just rather ride with what the fuck I have. Is going to the playoffs or the possibility to go to the playoffs with Derek Carr that attractive? Because Derek Carr is no different than Kirk Cousins to me. He's a mediocre run-of-the-mill quarterback. And if I'm going to have mediocre quarterback play, why not just get it from the people we already have it on our roster? Just saying. Unless their quarterback play is so bad that you're like, you know what? We just got to get up to average. We think if we had average quarterback play that we could have made it into the playoffs. But is that all it is? Because I'll rather my young quarterback take his lumps than just have Derek Carr come in with his new car smell and old transmission and have us sputter into the playoffs. And if you get there, just get bounced in the first. Like, yeah, it's okay. I don't want to have to spend. What is it? Do I have his numbers here? Is that the numbers just for quarterbacks? Pure? Yeah, I don't want to have. Like, no. Sorry, that's a whole different thing. Ooh, actually, I do have something on Derek Carr. Yeah, I don't want to have to spend over $40 million for Derek Carr. I'm sorry. I really don't. I'll rather keep what I have. And to be honest with you, I'm not a big fan of Mike White. Listen, if you're gonna start Mike White, you might as well start Zach Wilson. Like, to be truly honest with you, like for all the love that Mike White gets, Mike White still didn't win those games. The majority of games Mike White played in, he lost. Just go look at it. That last season. The majority of games Zach Wilson played in last season, he won. I don't care how it looks. That's what got Tim Tebow ran out the league. Focusing on how it looks versus the end result. If it's ended in W's, why do we care? Yeah. So if you're going to start Kirk Cousins, I'll rather you just run out again with Zach Wilson. Because if you're thinking Mike White still isn't a winner to me. He's some guy that his games look nice, but ultimately ends in L's. He's not even Ryan Fitzpatrick. Remember, Ryan Fitzpatrick actually come out of retirement. If that's the case, if you're gonna go Derek Carr, bring Ryan Fitzpatrick out of retirement and give him a shot. And have his backups be Colin Kaepernick and Cam Newton. And Vinny Testaverde. like seriously. Like I don't get the allure of Derek Carr. I really don't. Not in the same. Not when you talk. Not with the narrative that the Jets have. He doesn't fit the storyline. He doesn't fit our script. Like that's probably what looks odd to me, is that he's not right for the role. He's not right for the script. So you have Derek Carr being talked about out there. And like I said, also there's Aaron Rodgers. And let's not forget there's also still Lamar Jackson. right? As we talk about, and he's the first one that's really in that free agency, right, where he can get not free agency, but we can get franchise tag. Now, as much as I hope for it, right? As much as I hope for it as a Jets fan, I find it hard to believe they're going to let Lamar Jackson get to the franchise tag. Unless they try the exclusive franchise tag. And I'll tell you why I say this, because the franchise tag only requires you to have to give up 2 draft picks to the team that puts franchise tag on. As long as you think that that person is worth 2 first-round draft picks, you can have them. I think Lamar Jackson's worth 3. So if they put the franchise tag on Lamar, there's nothing from stopping teams out there from going to say, "What, you just want 2 for him? Oh, let's go. Let's start putting their names into the pool." And now Lamar. So as much as I would like to see it happen, because I would like to think there's a way, like there's a hope, there's a way that Lamar Jackson can fall to the Knicks. The Jets. I'm hoping for all my teams, you know. I don't see it happening, but that's going to be the first piece or the biggest name in all of this, right? That's going to make this this franchise tag period interesting, because decisions have to be made. You got Orlando Brown, the tackle out of Kansas City. Now, let me let you know. Lamar Jackson's franchise tag is somewhere like around $45 million. Right? You got Orlando Brown, right? He was off. That's the tackle from Kansas City. He turned down a $6 million, $139 deal, right? So they can franchise tag him, and their franchise number is going to be like about $19.9 million. So it's about like $20 million. Josh Jacobs, the running back out of Las Vegas, right? He may get franchise tagged by them. His number comes in at 10.1, and that 10.1 number is going to be the number for almost every running back, if I saw that correctly earlier. Darren Payne, the defensive tackle from the Water Closet team, that for some odd reason Eric Bieniemy had to go to, just so that he can get right in his contract, that he can get promoted up to the head coach position. But he had to take a lateral move from the offensive coordinator in the best team in the league to go into the worst ran franchised in the league by the Washington Water Closets. I swear they be setting these black coaches up for failure. They really do. They're like, "Here, go to this horrible key, try to fix this. And if you don't, we're going to fire you and say, yeah, see, this is why we never liked you and thought you were a bad coach." Tony Pollard, the running back from Dallas, right? He's also up for a franchise tag as well. Again, that number sits in about like 10.1 mil. You also have Jordan Poyer, the safety from Buffalo. His number's coming in just about like 14.5 million for the one to try to keep him. Then we have the quarterback for the New York Giants, Daniel Jones, who is possibly looking at being franchise tag. Now, I thought, if I saw this right, that his number comes at like 32.4, which is completely different than Lamar Jackson's. Right? So his number comes at 32.4. Now, remember this. Now, you have to think. Some of these teams, like the New York Giants, right? But some of these teams, they may not have the room to franchise. It's not even just that, okay, I'm putting a franchise tag on you so I can keep it this year and we'll figure something out. Financially, they may not have the room for this. So in a normal situation where, okay, so for instance, we talked about Orlando Brown, right? The tackle from Kansas City turning down $6 million, $139, right? So let's just call it $6 million, $140. That's like a little over $20 million a year, right? Let's call it $22 million a year. A little bit less, but like 21.5. But let's call it $22 million a year. Even if it's $22 million a year, they can still say, okay, out of this what did I say? 140? 139. Yes, it will. Out of this 140, we're giving you a $80 million signing bonus, right? So now you know, okay, there goes the guaranteed money over whatever time. Also, you can defer that contract where it's not all of that money, that 20 million, whatever it is, 22 million, is not hitting the salary cap all this year. You can shut your way. Okay, you know what? This year, because of you, our cap is only going to be $2 million because of how we have your contract set up between signing bonus and contract money or whatever it needs to be. When they franchise tag him now, that $20 million, they're on the hook for the whole thing. All of that is on the is on their books. So let's say that they only had, let's say, 30 mil to play with, and by restructuring him, they get a chance to, okay, we get only because 1 mil or 2 mil is on our books, we now have a good number 28 mil to try to improve this team. Nope, now we got 10. So for teams like New York, where that 32 and a half is going to sit directly on their books, they may desperately try to get Daniel sign a contract in this offseason, right? And not have to franchise tag him. Now, the only thing about that, right, with franchising Daniel Jones or Daniel Jones, period, is that Daniel Jones recently fired his agent. He was with CAA or CCA, I think, or maybe he's going to CCA or CAA, whatever it is. He fired his agent. Now, I don't know if he fired his agent because his agent, basically, obviously because they disagreed, right? But I'm not sure if his agent is trying to convince him to take less money, or if he, I don't know. But Daniel Jones fired his agent, which may not be a good thing for the New York Giants, or maybe the offer that the Giants are offering him, he wants to take, and his agent is telling him, no, you can probably get better. Like, who knows? But either his agent is telling him he could get better, and it's telling him not to take the deal, or his agent telling him to take the deal, or wants him to take the deal, and Daniel Jones thinks that he can get better. And now, but we're at the point where he fired his agent, and we're going to see where this Daniel Jones talk goes over the next couple of weeks. But we got to start moving fast. You don't want to lose any of your abilities to be able to start signing people. Because they don't just have Daniel Jones to worry about. They also have Saquon Barkley. Again, Saquon Barkley's number comes in as every other running back, $10.1 million hit. I know Saquon Barkley is trying to get somewhere between, I think he's trying to get like $14 million a year, if I'm not mistaken. He's trying to get up there to $14 million. Now, again, they can make that happen. There's a way for them to fandangle the contract so they can put $14 million, but they're not paying $14 million every single year. They can really give him the money that he wants. And for Saquon Barkley, like I give it to him. Outside of the health issue, he has been everything that you want him to be. Give it to him. Him and Daniel Jones has showed up to be the dual faces of your franchise. Find a way to pay those two guys. Now, Daniel Jones, I think, is like having Daniel Jones. I think is like having Kirk Cousins. Having Daniel Jones, I think, is like having Derek Carr. I think they're an average, mediocre quarterback, and maybe that's also what they're considering. I completely skipped over what they did for LeBron. No, I didn't. So like I said, they have Saquon Barkley to sign. Cincinnati has their safety Jesse Bates to try to sign. His cap number comes, his franchise tag number comes in at 15.5. Denver has their cornerback Jamal Dean, right? His number comes in at 18. Evan Ingram, the tight end from Jacksonville, his number comes in 11.3. And then we have Geno Smith, for Seattle. He's up as well. And he got that Daniel Jones number, 13.5. See what I'm talking about there? But that's who they have to maneuver with. And that's exactly who they have to maneuver with. And that's going to be some of the biggest names that you're gonna have that can possibly get franchise tag, and we're gonna be paying attention to. Like, these are gonna be the names that matter, because listen, even they get franchise tag or they are moving. And these are gonna be the first series of moves that are gonna be happening because contracts cannot be agreed to. And I know, listen, there's some players that I know if you have the right team, you should go out and get. Like, listen, if you're Baltimore, you want to keep Lamar Jackson, but if the Giants let Saquon Barkley flow or go, you try to get Saquon. But also, if Baltimore fucks this up with Lamar Jackson, they can't come to an agreement because Lamar Jackson and his mother is his own agent, and they're saying like, "Yo, if you can't give me XYZ guaranteed money, and I've done better than this person, I've been a better model, I've been a better citizen, I've been a better basketball player, I've gone farther, I've done more, right? If that's where he cemented himself, right, where he's digging himself into the ground at, and Baltimore doesn't want to come up off of that, and they try to franchise tag him, that's open game. I can't see a team out there that needs a quarterback that wouldn't think that Lamar Jackson is worth 2 first-round picks. Because I'm pretty sure without this, they could have gotten 3 first-round picks for him, most likely. From somebody, they could have gotten 3. I know you're thinking like, for Lamar, for somebody. I'm not saying for everybody. Somebody would have given up 3 for him. Probably would have been Washington. Probably would have been Washington. Who knows? What if Bill Belichick would have given 3 for him? All right, let's switch gears, right? And let's get back into basketball for a little while. During the All-Star Showcase that they had on Sunday, they decided to have a little halftime show, right? A little halftime show and honor. And and you know what's crazy? The first thing that popped into my head when I saw this halftime show, I think it was a halftime show by Burna Boy, right? When the right, that one. The first thing I thought was, and I know not nearly as many people are watching it, but I know just enough of the people that didn't like the Rihanna performance was watching this. And I started thinking to myself, I wonder what they think about this performance. Right? Wonder how they feel about this one. Because, it was a rough one. But also, but big shout out, because this is a big celebration for Africa, right? But I only knew like 2 songs. He did like a 6-song set. And I don't know about you guys. There was only like 2 songs that I knew. Right? That one and some other one that he sung. My shadow, even the shadow. Is that the same song? Shadow, and even whichever one it was. I only do like 2 songs. Maybe I only knew one. But they did a little Burna Boy performance at the halftime. But they also did a little LeBron James honor at the halftime, and I was like, okay, I guess they want to give him his roses while he was still in the league. Recognize that he had passed the all-time mark, so they brought out Karl Malone first, who is the 3rd-time all-time scoring leader now. They brought out Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who's the 2nd all-time scoring leader. And then they brought out Dwayne Wade to introduce the current all-time scoring leader in one LeBron Montgomery James. Oh, Montgomery's really his middle name. I just made that up. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, damn, there really ain't no Jordan or Kobe up there. That's all I thought about. But then secondly, I started thinking about Karl Malone, second most points, or now third most points of all time, is in direct correlation to the guy that has the most assists of all time, John Stockton. And I also thought about how LeBron James is really a little bit more like Karl Malone, but also I always thought he was a bit more Bernard King. Like he's Karl Malone, Bernard King, and Magic Johnson rolled into one. Those are the things I always really thought LeBron James was like. That's the reason why this whole Jordan thing. Like, I understand the Jordan person because you're trying to compare greatness. When you talk about game, it's been kind of that. That's the kind of game I want Obi Toppins to get into. It's to start to turn himself into a Bernard King, Karl Malone kind of guy, right? That's some Nick talk for you. So they did a little honor to LeBron James. They brought him out. So now you had the 3-time leading scorers of all time, all on stage being honored, and it was a nice moment. I get it. I felt it was forced. I thought it was kind of forced, but I get it, right? I get it. Like you want to give LeBron James his roses while he's here. Find a way to honor him for being an all-time scoring leader while he's here. But is he retiring this year? Like, because they're doing it now. They're going to do it again after he retires, obviously. And then now every time that you talk about the all-time scoring record, you always be like LeBron James in the all-time scoring, like, which is true. Like yo, he was really the chosen one. He may not lived up to the expectations in the way that I think most people would have liked or would have foresaw, right? For somebody that they want to put in one of the greatest of all time category, but he did. What's going on, Pippin? Like he still lived up to that next in line chosen one. Like he still did. Like and he made sure he did. He definitely made sure he did. Like, let's not get it twisted. Like he definitely made sure that he maneuvered it in a way that he did it, that he could. And what do you think about McClung? I was highly pleased by McClung. I was highly entertained, highly pleased. Listen, it actually goes along with something that I was mentioning earlier, that I really hope that at some point in time, maybe not for this slam dunk contest that they have, but maybe they find something to do on either Friday or so when they have the Rising Star Challenge, and maybe have a dunk contest from some celebrity dunkers and give them an opportunity to, like some internet dunkers, whatever, professional jumpers, and give them opportunity to win a quick 100,000. That's probably the coolest thing about McClung, is that his career earnings up until this point in time was 150,000, and he just won 100,000 on that game from that dunk contest. And he also probably needs to get his 2K rating updated, but definitely Trey Murphy needs to get his 2K rating updated as well. Yeah. So back to this. Yeah. So I get it. They want to give LeBron James his roses while he's here. I thought it was kind of fun. I understand that he has really goated himself. I think the dunk contest was great. Oh no, it was really good this year. It was good. It was good. Trey Murphy. So I think Trey Murphy surprised people. I don't think people saw that coming from him. Jericho Sims disappointed people, but he brought back some classic dunks in a sense. Also, I thought Kenyon Martin's son did a good job as well. He just couldn't. He just couldn't get over Trey Murphy. Yeah, Trey Murphy surprised me too. I thought he was more of a shooter. I really did. I really thought he was more of a shooter. And if you see him shoot too, he doesn't even get a lot of lift on his jump shot either. Like he's not really a fast guy either. So yeah, he surprised me as well. I think more than Matt. I think after Matt McClung, right, surprised people. I think he was probably the best surprise out of them all. Right, Jericho Sims didn't really surprise anybody. And I think Kenyon Martin did kind of what we expected. Now, what we're gonna expect next coming up is probably gonna be the race to the end of the season, right? Because the All-Star weekend, right, or the showcase, or the All-Star showcase weekend doesn't come at half the season, right? Anymore. It comes at it's 3/4 of the way through the season. Most teams have already played about 60 games or so. They all did come prepared. Well, Kenyon Martin took a little bit of time to warm up, but for the most part, yeah, they did come prepared. And I think, and I enjoyed this batch because they also really tried to, except for Kenyon Martin in that first round, right? But you really saw the attempt to really make sure you got your dunks on the first try. Like, and you saw a lot of made dunks on the first attempt as well. Like, normally we're not getting a lot of that anymore. We're normally getting your dunk attempt on the third try, fourth, fifth. It's like that's just what makes it look sloppy. But yeah, they got some good jumpers, and I did not expect that. I did not expect, based off the names presented. I knew Jericho Sims had potential, but he was gonna have to bring a Dwight Howard, Blake Griffin performance for him to win. He couldn't do Vince Carter's old dunks, and that's ultimately what I think what happened with Trey Murphy is that I think his last dunk was basically a throwback to Vince Carter as well. So that goes to Kenyon Martin. So I do remember that correctly. So then Kenyon Martin was the only one that had problems with his dunk. So now that the All-Star break, now that we have the All-Star weekend, the first game comes back to us on the 23rd. So if you didn't play this weekend, you've had a good 9 days or so off if you haven't played over the weekend. And even for the guys that did play this weekend, it's a nice little rest for them as well. Like, you know what? You take off the 20th, you take off the 21st, take off the 22nd. It goes 3 whole days of rest. We're back to work on the 23rd. Right? So basically, 3 days in a wake up. They give their bodies, they give their all-stars time to go ahead and recoup. And now we get that mad dash at the end of the season. And I like it. I like the way this is. I like the way this is set up. Because you really do get a mad dash at the end of the season. You have Boston at the top of the East. You have Denver at the top of the West, right? And then trying to get in the play-in tournament for the East, you have Miami, Atlanta, Washington, and Toronto, right? With all of them having a record under 5. Wait, all of them? That don't make sense. Do I have Miami's record backwards? Or do I have it written wrong? I think I have it written as 37 and not 27. So all of them except for Miami. So Atlanta, Washington, Toronto, they all have an under 500 record, right? In the West, you have New Orleans, Minnesota, Golden State, and Oklahoma City, right, in the play-in tournament. Lakers nowhere to be seen right now. Lakers are right now the 13th spot in the West. And again, just for my Knicks fans out there, just to remind you that you're better than Miami, Atlanta, Washington, Toronto, Chicago, Indy, Orlando, Charlotte, Detroit. Wait, hold on. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 9 teams in the East you're better than. And in the West, right now in the West, you'll be a 4th seed, right? And you're better than the Clippers, the Suns, Dallas, New Orleans, Minnesota, Golden State, Oklahoma, Utah, Tampa, Portland, the Lakers, San Antonio, and Houston. That's 12 teams. That's 21 teams. That's 21 teams. Yes, New York Knicks. Yes, New York Knicks. You are a top 10 team in the league. Can we act like it? That's all I'm asking. Can we act like it? Can we stop acting like, whoa, Weesby, whoa, Weesby. We never have what we need. We need this. We need. Jalen Brunson's a stud. Jalen Brunson is a stud. He's a bona fide all-star. 30, putting up 30 points per game since the beginning of the calendar year. Julius Randle is in talks. And that's all I ask for. Is in talks of MVP. Currently, right now, I think right now he's 7th in the MVP voting. 7th? 7th. In front of John Moran and behind Kevin Durant. 7th. So in the East right now, right before things pick back up, we have Boston, Milwaukee, right, 1 and 2. Philly, Cleveland in 4th spot, right, and then we have Brooklyn and New York at the 5 and 6. And I already gave you Miami and the rest of them, and the rest of them through the East. And then the West is Memphis, right? That follows Denver. Then we have the San Antonio. Then we have the Sacramento Kings. Big shout out to Mike Brown, who in my eyes, right now, if they keep this up, should win Coach of the Year. Followed by the Clippers, who we got some news about the Clippers. The Clippers may get Russell Westbrook. Yes, folks. Russell Westbrook is going back to LA. Russell Westbrook is going back to LA. And it said that he is talking about being bought out with Utah. I think that's what he's with. Right, being bought out with Utah, which not for nothing, right? He could have helped Utah get into the play-in tournament. He could have. If he's that dude, he could have. But he's about to go join the Clippers, who John Wall just left. I wonder what's gonna happen with John Wall. That's gonna be another question. What's gonna happen with John Wall? I wonder if we're gonna hear buyout talks coming about John Wall pretty soon. And I think it's time for me to hit up Bradley Beal again and be like, "Hey, yo, think about becoming a Knick yet?" Yo, I swear I'm not gonna stop. So, and we have Phoenix and Dallas, and we know that Phoenix just recently got Kevin Durant, and Dallas just recently got Kyrie Irving. We have New Orleans and Minnesota. New Orleans has been struggling bad. I think they've dropped about 6 spots, if I'm not mistaken. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at least 4 or 5 spots, right? Since Zion Williamson has been out injured, so they're missing. They're really missing him as their percentage is now like 508. Record is 30 and 29, just barely above 500. And Minnesota shares the same percentage as them with 5-0, with a record of 31 and 30. Golden State Warriors, right? Actually, I already told you about the Golden State Warriors. They have a record of 500, and then OKC right now, the only team up below 500 with coming in there at 28 and 29. Now, last week's games would affect the power rankings, but can I tell you, I got the power rankings this week because I didn't see them on NBA.com, right? I don't go for ESPNs. I go straight to NBA's power rankings. I don't know why. It's NBA's power. It's the power rankings. NBA. But more importantly, I got CBS's power rankings this time, and CBS currently has Boston moving back up into the number 1 spot, and they weren't there now, which I do remember at the very least that Boston hadn't lost their spot last week in the NBA power ranking, if I remember correctly. They were very much so in that number 1 spot, because I remember there it goes. I remember me talking about how I felt kind of weird that Milwaukee wasn't number 1 that week after going on a 10-0 run. Yep, I do remember that. And this week before the All-Star break was going to really help determine if there's going to be any movement. Nobody had a lot of games. Everybody had 2 games. But the fact that we were going to see Milwaukee take on Boston, right, in this matchup, also like that was big. Like also see Cleveland take on Philly. That was gonna possibly shake up the power ranking slots. And if I were to stick with the NBA power rankings, right, where they had Boston at 1, Denver at 2, Milwaukee at 3, Philly at 4, and Cleveland at 5, I don't see a lot of change, right? Because Milwaukee failed to complete their mission. They lost to Boston without Jason Tatum and without Jalen Brown. So Milwaukee, I can't put you anywhere. You should have been at number 1 spot, but no, you lost it. And based off of CBS's power ranking, that's exactly what happened. Where Boston moved up a spot, right, from number 2 into the number 1 spot from last week for them, right? And Milwaukee dropped from the number 1 spot 2 spots down to number 2. And then they end up moving. I guess they had them down bad. They end up moving up 3 spots from 5 to 2. Philly the same. And Cleveland fell 2 spots from 3 down to number 5. So that's how they had their power ranking. And if that's really how they're looking at it, that's basically saying Boston, Denver, Milwaukee, Philly, Cleveland, which is how which is how the NBA had it ranked last week, and it's probably how it's going to stay again this week. Honestly, like I said, I thought Milwaukee should at least been. What's going on? What a beast! I've seen you in a minute, pimping. I thought really at least Milwaukee should have at least gotten the respect of being bumped up last week just because of that 10-0 run. But based off of them losing to Boston this week, yeah, they're gonna have to fall back to number 3. So that's what we have in the power rankings. And though for the most part, these are probably your biggest odds at winning a championship. Now, there are 2 other teams that probably have bigger odds that are probably in here, but it doesn't reflect in the power ranking, not yet. Right? And that's probably going to be Phoenix and Dallas. Outside of Boston, outside of Denver. And I don't know if people really give Denver a real chance. Right? What's going on, Bucktooth? Papa Pippin? Welcome to the show. I don't know if people are really giving Denver a chance. And I'm not sure if this Milwaukee team, even though they won this 10-0 run, like there's something about Middleton and them boys I just don't trust anymore. Philly's in great position. Cleveland's in great position. But Denver is not the only team in the West that really has that chance, obviously. I said that's the funny thing about the West. The West is so compact, right? The West is so compact that at any point in time, if any of these teams catch a good run, like these matchups can start getting crazy. And we're talking about 8 seeds beating 1 seed, 6 seeds beating 3 seeds. Next, you know, the earth is flat and Kyrie Irving's in the finals. Like that can happen. But to talk about our New York teams and Florida teams real quick, we had Orlando all the way at the bottom, coming in at 26, right, in the power rankings. Then we had Miami coming in at number 14. They fell 4 spots from number 10, right? So they're coming in at number 14 in the power rankings. Brooklyn comes in at number 10 with the loss of Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant. The New York Knicks are at number 8 now these days, right? Falling into a top. That's what I was trying to tell you, Knicks fans, that you are better than right now. You have a better record than 21 teams in the league. That's what you've been doing lately under Jalen Brunson. Him putting up constant 30 a game. Julius Randle constantly dropping 25 and 10. Dallas don't have a third guy. They're going to need that in the playoffs, especially in the West. Tim Hardaway Jr. Timmy. That's what Timmy's there for. Timmy got to step up. At some point in time, Timmy, like, because for what they need, so he stopped. I know what you're saying, right? But you saying, yeah, they do need a third guy. Timmy needs to be that third guy. It's ultimately what I'm saying, because with Luka and Kyrie being able to draw as much attention as they do, Timmy should not be able to. I thought you would have said would. Listen, fourth guy. I don't listen. They can rotate between third guy production as long as they're third and fourth, and they're giving you something. But those are the guys that are gonna have to step up. It's gonna be guys like Christian Wood. It's gonna be guys like Tim Hardaway Jr. Tim Hardaway Jr. should be the next guy to step up if you're having Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic on the court and you're with them. Those guys are gonna draw so much attention that you should just get open threes. But you should also be looking. But Tim Hardaway should be looking to himself to try to get himself back in form, where he's putting up just about 17 points per game again. He does that, and that's because you don't need 20-something points from Tim Hardaway Jr. You just need a consistent 17, and then every once in a while he puts up 26 randomly. You know what I mean? What you need from him is one game for him to be 6 for 9 from 3-point range, while everybody else is doing their thing. Like, you don't need him to do much. You just need him to be a star in his role. And his role is sitting there in a corner or sitting there on the wing, chucking up threes every time somebody dishes it out to him, and still having the ability to take his man off the dribble as well. Listen, I'm a Knicks fan. We used to have Tim Hardaway Jr. So I've watched a lot of Tim Hardaway, even after he's going to Dallas. I've watched a lot of tape. Listen, you guys, like the Dallas Mavericks. Like, at one point in time, I was calling them the Knicks of the West, right, or the Knicks of the South, whichever one you want to consider it. I was calling them Knicks South. They had Porzingis. They had Tim Hardaway Jr. Oh, another guy that honestly is probably doing what Tim Hardaway Jr. was. I'm saying need to do from Tim Hardaway Jr. That this guy can't take his man off the dribble. Reggie Bullock. Like, Tim Hardaway Jr. This needs to be Reggie Bullock on Tartar Oil. Like, he don't even got to be on steroids. just be Reggie Bullock on caffeine. Like, Reggie Bullock with a Bustelo shot. Like, that's all you need. Like, but Reggie Bullock is probably the other one as well too. Players for career, he averages 11 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist. Not gonna get it done. That's not gonna get it done. Let's step that up. That has to come up to a consistent 17. Like, 11 points in the playoffs, that's okay for Reggie Bullock. That's what I said. He has to be Reggie Bullock on caffeine. Like, that's okay for Reggie Bullock. And Reggie Bullock may not even be getting that many points because Reggie Bullock doesn't even get Tim Hardaway Jr. opportunities. But that would be okay for Reggie Bullock, not for Tim Hardaway Jr. Like, your daddy wasn't in Miami busting the Knicks' ass for you to average 11 points per game. I'm just saying. We got a couple of, so you guys now are aware of how much time we got left in the podcast. Ooh, got about 5 minutes left. So you guys are aware now who the best teams in the league are, right? And how the standings on the East or West are, and some of the teams that you need to pay attention to, right? Like I said, top 6 in each: Boston, Milwaukee, Philly, Cleveland, Brooklyn, and also New York. And then in the West, we got Denver, Memphis, Sacramento, the Clippers, Phoenix, and Dallas. Now, if you guys want to go extra, then you know. But listen, that playing tournament, that fight for 6 through 10, that's real, and that's really fun. And honestly, that's where a lot of your excitement is going to be coming into as well. It's going to be coming to the last of the season. Again, for the third straight season, the New York Knicks are going to be better than the Los Angeles Lakers since they had Tom Thibodeau. Again, that's been a consistent, folks. I just have to throw that in there, just so Knicks fans could calm down. Right? They need him to be like Maxey was for the Poole. Now, that's probably would be ideal. That would be ideal for him to be able to perform like Maxey or Jordan Poole. I don't know if he gets that. That's the thing about it. He doesn't have that kind of opportunity, and also I don't think he has that kind of ball handling skills on him either. Like these guys, you still talk about or pseudo point guards as well for their team. Yeah, I don't know if he's gonna get that kind of opportunity. Like at this point, he needs to be Klay Thompson. Like if we talk about Jordan Poole, he needs to be Klay Thompson. Because he's not gonna be able to put that ball on the floor like that. I'm sorry, he's not gonna get that opportunity. Listen, we got a couple of MVP candidates already coming up, so these are the people that have already been balling that you guys need to pay attention to. Like I don't know, so Buck, you sound like a real you love basketball. Have you been watching this? Have you been watching all season, or are you one of those people that jumped in after the NFL season was over? Or one of the people that jumped in after or during the Christmas break? Are you a day one, or was it Christmas break after NFL? I'm watching big Celtics fan. Big Celtics fan. So why are you giving me Dallas energy? Oh man. Listen, what's going on, Jimmy? I actually caught you popping in the podcast this time, but I only got like 3 minutes left until the show is over. I haven't seen Jimmy in a minute. How's the fam doing? What was that? What were we saying? Big Celtics fan. Yeah, this is one of your years, B. Like this is big time one of your years. Last year you got that, you got humbled. You got that Dwight Howard Kobe treatment. You got that LeBron James Tim Duncan treatment. You understand? You got one of those handed to you. So Milwaukee is your biggest nemesis right now. It's you guys and Milwaukee. Hey, next show Wednesday night, 8:07 p.m. You know, I'll be recording live from my local bar and grill, Sharky's. We got trivia, we have raffle, we have beaches. Sorry, that's an inside joke on a whole nother thing. Well, we have it all. B. We do it all. All right, so what time we got? We got a couple. Got like 2 minutes left into this. So we'll talk. We'll continue to talk Boston and Milwaukee a little bit. I'm not even going to talk the MVP candidates because I'll wait till Monday. Not till Monday. Today's Monday. I'll wait till Wednesday. We're going to talk about the MVP candidates. We'll talk about the rookie candidates. We'll talk about the Defensive of the Year candidates. Defensive Player of the Year candidate. That kind of surprised me. That really surprised me because that shows me that there's an old man out there still playing with heart, outdoing all of these young boys out there trying to get himself a Defensive Player of the Year award. Like that was awesome. And also, if you don't know who Benedict Mathurin is by now, then you ain't watching enough Indianapolis games. Also, watch Orlando Magic basketball. I'm not even a fan. Watch Orlando Magic basketball. There's something special going on there. But you know, there's something more special than you guys into the podcast. I do appreciate you giving me your time and energy and your participation. We will be back Wednesday, 8:07-ish. Remember this, we kind of heavy on the ish. Right? Paulo is the truth. He changed out. He's changing that whole entire culture over there. Like J. Cole couldn't do it. Not J. Cole. Anthony Cole couldn't do it himself. But with Paulo Banchero there, they got something brewing. They definitely do. And the X Factor, Ball. If you don't know who Ball is, at least get him when you're playing 2K. He's a cheat code. He's a cheat code. It's like having your wish version of Kevin Durant, and it's good enough to help you win games. MyT Sports Podcast. I'm out of here. Hope you guys, guys. Don't forget, he's too big. Nah, he ain't too big. Not for 2K. Not for 2K. All he has 16 minutes a game to be effective. Listen, you guys continue to be safe out there. Stay blessed. Don't stress. And don't forget to continually transform yourself into the kind of individual you would want to work for you. We're out of here. MyT Sports Podcast.